Ladies and gentlemen, before we start this stream, I need to give you fair warning. My hair is insanely wet, so I'm gonna look like a, I'm gonna look probably how your dog looks. After you give him a shower. So, why did you cut the song for the drop? Because I hate you, dude. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Okay, anyways, don't be a girl, just talk. Since when is it since when is it a female thing for one to care about their appearance? Okay? Since when is it a female thing? Okay, it's not that bad. I'm balding too, so it doesn't help. It's every day with you? Anyways. Um So we're gonna be really winging it this stream. I gotta be honest with you. We don't have a whole lot. I tried to, I tried to go through Chud's inbox because like it was just like total non-tent in mine right now. And as I went through Chud's inbox, I didn't realize how bad things had gotten over in his community. We got like there was like in the React Andy channel, they were linking like videos of like random black people, and it's like great culture by the way. And then in the fucking they linked a video of a Vietnamese woman getting arrested, and it's like they title it Vietnamese woman gets arrested while she's like talking in her, and I'm quoting this verbatim by the way, her quote unquote ping pong language. So very strange things happening over there, I gotta be honest. Gotta be honest. But yeah, before we do a quick community tip. Remember how I said there are so many great moments that nobody will ever know about because it's hidden in a 6-hour stream and nobody clips? Chronic Sonic understands how to clip, but when it comes for like figuring out what to clip, he's like an actual like fucking idiot. He does not understand why clips do well. Um, and a clip did well. One person clipped the stream from yesterday, and their clip got almost 200 likes. Okay, DJ Screwdriver over here. This is an example of how you do it. Okay, this is an example of how you do it. You clip, you're going to be in my clip graphic that I'm making. You're going to be an example of how not to clip. Okay? If you want to learn how not to clip, look at Ali Khan's account. But look what we got here. Look what we got here, okay? He did everything right. What did he not do wrong here, folks? What did he... It's a brief summary of what is about to occur, okay? He does not put my at the beginning. If you put my at the beginning, what will happen is that your tweet will not show up to anyone. It will just be in my notifications. And then what you could do here is, you could do like parentheses saying at Exiled Aiden or whatever, but always be clipping, folks. It's how we get promoted. It's how we get out there. There have been some great moments. For example, my reaction to the Young Turks boobs drama, I'm so surprised there was not a single fucking clip of that. Anyways. Frenchie's Fry, can you go on the Half-Baked podcast? I'm exiled from there. Yo! Thank you guys so much for the donos. 99 cents from Kai. Much appreciated, Kai. Frenchie's Fry with the 99 cents. Thank you so much. Frenchie's Fry with the $2. Thank you so much, buddy. Yeah, Kalora Vetla is my new manager, by the way. I'll have another one by next week, but he's gonna help us grow, okay? I've hired him. What a loser, lol. Nah, what is that cut? Bro is chopped. It's not a cut. My hair is just wet. I actually have to get a haircut. And the great thing about clipping is, folks, you don't have to use your computer to do it. If you have an iPhone, there are apps like record it or something for free, where you could just literally, I don't care if your clip's 480p. You can record the segment you want to record, and then in Photos, in the Photos app on your iPhone, you just hit the crop button. You could just crop it, trim, you can shorten it, and then you can upload it. You don't need a computer to do it. Anyways. Where is fuck. Okay, let's get into our first topic. Our first topic is about the fart drama. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. Um but dude, it's so bleak, man. It's actually so fucking bleak. Oh, also, I need a shorter name for Kick. So I'm taking suggestions. If you can think of a shorter name for me, okay? I was gonna do a bit where I LARPed as a big streamer and had like all my tags at the top and then a steak logo at the bottom. And then I realized that my name is too long. Hold on. So apparently a CSGO YouTuber dude, what are we doing here, man? So I'm being told, okay, from no known source that there is a CS:GO YouTuber that got accused of being a sex offender, and this drama ended with his fans finding an old channel where he posted fart videos. Aiden XL, yeah, dude, Aiden XL. What is a fake chain? Wait, I accidentally did voice to text. I have these topics in the notes app on my phone. I have to bring them over to my computer. He's been open about doing fart videos before. Interesting. Very, very... Dude. Listen, everybody knew it. Everyone knew I was making those videos, man. Hold on, where is this shit? Is your neck turning green? Hold on. Alright, there we go. Aiden, would you be open about that? He's being accused of being transphobic, but yes. He's being accused of being a sex offender. I was right. All right, so this is on the wait, is his name actually Philip Fartmaster? Hold on. What am I doing, bro? What am I doing? All right. Anyways. So he faces backlash for a transphobic tweet. Where is the tweet? Is this just out of order? Where you cropped it where we could see the tweet? Where's the tweet, bro? Oh, is it this tweet? Okay, got it. So someone says he's a sex offender, I guess. And then somebody brings up because so apparently his usage of AI in his videos was getting called out. Somebody says he's a sex offender. He responds, and then somebody says, "Oh, everyone is doing this as such and such in their bio." And then somebody posts a meme saying like, "What the fuck do like trans people have to do with this?" And then he posts, I guess, a tweet showing like the people in the replies of another tweet what they look like. to say, look, all these people are trans. Followed you for years, not anymore after the AI slop, and now transphobia. Is it transphobia when it's just trans people hating on me, but not the other way around? Wait, what do you mean the other way around? Is he accusing them of being transphobic towards him? These people, their grievance is with a specific behavior of yours, right? Not for your like marginalized status, if you have one, right? And obviously, it's not like comparable when someone is calling out a behavior of yours and you're calling out a characteristic, like the characteristic of them being a member of a given marginalized group. Okay, I wouldn't say this is creepy, just to be clear. I would not say this is I'd just say it's like petty as fuck. Okay, and then apparently the fart drama starts or whatever. Where? Okay, I don't know. I guess they didn't link that part. I guess they didn't link that part. Forget it. Anyways, let's check out this video. I don't know a whole lot about Moist Critical, but my understanding is that politically, he's not like super sides cucked, right? Like, I think you should be sides cucked, just to be clear. But his content, is it like overtly political? Oh, wait. Before we move on. Before we move on, someone apparently linked this. From 9 years ago? Holy... 9 fucking years ago. Phase sensor booty robbing from... Wait. Huh?
What is up, Trouble Alert Nation? I'm your host, Killer Keemstar. Let's get on.
Dude, we had everything, man. We had everything.
Into the news. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our first...
Aiden, if you think it's worth asking me if I want it, you should just like link it anyway. That way I actually have options to sift through instead of like trying to assume whether or not I want it before you link it, and then let me decide whether or not I want it for the inbox.
Story is kind of crazy. There is this YouTube channel out there known as Fart Master.
What?
And on this channel, a masked man, well, not even a masked man, he puts underwear over his face, goes around farting on multiple things. One video, he farts for a full 1 minute and 7
seconds. All right,
seconds.
we're done. Thank you. Okay, I get... Okay, that's the Philip drama. That's the... Sorry, that's the Philip drama. Anyways. Dude. What? I can't take it anymore. Okay, apparently we have more Trump music drama. It's not drama, but for some reason the conservatives managed to like have the most like cringe music performances at any of their events. And apparently to celebrate the release of Israeli hostages, they got... Who is sing... Oh wait, this is Trump's former U.S. ambassadors to Israel. What is... What is going on here, man?
2 days and we scrolls keep on turning.
Are you serious?
Just 2 days and we are through. Then we start from the beginning. Hashem's holy words begin anew. We all have come to help Hatzal.
What is this organization? United... I just doxed myself. Cool. Forgot to turn my VPN on. Forgot to turn my VPN on, award. Forgot to turn my VPN on, award. Actually, I don't think I dox myself. I dox near myself. I dox near myself. Okay, I've just helped people narrow it down. I've just helped people narrow down where I am to a couple 100,000 people. All right, here we go. Delete. No, it's not information. It's not. I was exaggerating. It's not that bad. Also, I'm probably moving anyway. I was having such a good day, and then I see Aiden's stream. Is that like a compliment or an insult? My day is ruined. I saw you streaming. Oh, are these like the ambulances? Okay, are these like the ambulances and like the that you'd see in like Williamsburg or where the Orthodox Jews live? Where are you moving? I'm moving somewhere else than California, and then I'm looking at for my last year of college at some point, studying abroad, and I'm probably for that period of time live in Italy. Aiden, it's me, your big fan. What's up, Jimberly? That's a name I haven't heard in a while. How's it going, bud? Look, I've had beef with many people in Spicy Chat, okay? But it's all love here, man. It's all love here. I don't hold grudges. I don't hold, anymore. I don't hold grudges anymore. It's a new year soon. It's going to be a new me, okay? Everyone is a clean slate with me.
And we want to help it thrive. Based right here in God's holy city. Throughout this land, it's saving lives. Sweet home, Yerushalayim.
Where is it pushing for greater Israel? Just to be clear, every like aspect of mainstream Israeli politics and society, except for like the liberal voices who have just been like shouted over, is advocating for expansionism, and in the sense of like this like claim that there's like they have like some sovereignty, whether that be historically or religiously rooted, over the West Bank. Now to be fair, also, something else to be fair, and I don't like being fair to this side, just to be clear, I'm very fucking anti-Israel. But when people talk about greater Israel, I've often seen this map shared of, like, expansion across the entire Middle East, and it's like, we should be, to better recognize it, you should be accurate. What they want is the West Bank, what they want is Gaza, and, you don't even need to go through efforts to prove that's what they're saying, because I mean it's what they're doing, right? You've settlement construction policy in the West Bank, and I don't know what the end game is for Gaza. I haven't read into this deal, but I highly doubt this is the end of it, obviously. this is the thing you get with it does not help our cause to perpetuate narratives that can easily be debunked that would go against Israel. And this is not the most of them, because Israel has just been like derelict in like any basic moral duties as like an international state. Most of them are not like false, just to be clear, right? Israel is like expanding and wants sovereignty over the West Bank. Palestinians are treated like subhumans and killed en masse, right? But there are certain claims that get pushed out there that does not help our cause because they can easily be refuted. And when you easily refute one claim, unfortunately, how the average person works is they all of a sudden think there's like going to be there's like falsification of all claims. I don't know what they're advocating for here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I didn't hear anything that sounds like them advocating for greater Israel, but I would not be surprised if they believe in it. Anyways, people keep linking me this Diorio clip.
Tribe on like justified reasons for ICE. Okay, that sounds crazy, but this is my scenario. This is the scenario that I presented. If ICE only targeted journalists that glaze Hassan Piker and sent them to literal work camps, I think that unironically, I think you could justify it, you know? Could you justify if
Noid, I'm unironically gonna ban you, dude. I can't take it anymore, man.
ICE put every journalist who said that Hassan has a MAGA body in a work camp? Would you then be pro-ICE? If they got rid of the whole minority thing, sending them back, would you be pro-ICE if they took every journalist who's just like, so how does it feel being as... Every journalist who's just like, so how does it feel being as... talking about politics? Are you...
Dude, what? Okay, if you're gonna... Tell me how. DM me how. DM me what is going on. I am so fucking tired of people vaguely coming in here and being like, Aiden!
Your arms are so big. Why are your arms so big? Like, labor camp, you know?
Jealous of Hassan's Übermenschen physique compared to the Untermenschen Diorio, okay? It's just pure jealousy because some journalists choose to admire how perfect Hassan looks, and to those journalists, they're just reporting on the truth. Now, what people are linking this to me because they want me to sit here and be like, oh, he really is gonna justify. This is not like he's obviously like not being serious. He's doing like safe, edgy, in his community, right? He's obviously not being serious here. But what I'll say is, if Hassan had made the same joke in a different context, right, about like if he was talking about like, sending the Kleins to when the communist takeover happens, sending the Kleins to a fucking labor camp, for a fact that all the broader anti-Hassan crowd would absolutely be clipping that and treating it like it's serious. Didn't he say he was gonna stop? I could be misquoting him here. This is why this is speculation, or I'm prefacing this with uncertainty. But did he not say that he was gonna stop covering EHD? I mean, has it been every single stream? iDubbbz, Ethan, Desi's not here. He's done with. He hasn't really covered. iDubbbz, Ethan, some of the people that it's like briefly safe to go out, like Bo Blacks, Your Movie Sucks. But it's just mostly HD. I mean, like, I just can't imagine. I can't imagine like having fun doing this. But to be clear, right? The money is there, and not everyone has fun at their job. But if the money's there, they're gonna fucking do it. But like, holy shit. I would get... Okay, Gang Stalkers ban. Gangstalker's timed out for a week until I get a fucking apology, dude. I'm so done with it, man. I'm so fucking done with it, bro. I'm so done with it. Like, it's every single day with this fucking server, dude. I just want to build something cool. We put this effort into building something cool. And it's like, Aiden, Glorbus has found our base and is building a fucking Boeing flying fortress to drop TNT all over. I'm done with it. I am done with it, okay? The server is getting shut down. The server is getting shut down. We could have had something so great, but you just couldn't let it be, could you? You just had to be you and ruin it. It's absurd. It's absurd. It's an insult to it's an insult to everything I stand for. I just wanted to play the block game. I just wanted to play the block game with some cool people, and many of you were cool. In peace. It's all I wanted to do, and you just couldn't let it be, could you? You just had to fucking ruin it. Anyways, where was I? Gangstalker, if you send me a reassurance that you're not going to leak our cords and you're just going to play the block game, you will be unbanned. Okay? No more of this teasing that we're going to do something. It's like, this is why this, what's his name? David pissed me off so much. Because for a week, he's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, Aiden. I'm going to drop the docs of morale. For like just to do like a big meme at the end. And it's like a week where you keep teasing you're gonna do something. And then it's like, why do I need that, man? Why do I need that? Why do I need any of that? It's a game. It's it's a game. It's a game. It's not a game, okay? It's not just a game, okay? It is a medium for which you have the potential to create art. Okay? To create art. You devote very real hours into contributing pieces, brush strokes to the canvas that comes together to potentially create the most beautiful painting anyone has ever seen. And it's like you have somebody running over while you're painting this. Okay, what I've said this before. What if Van Gogh was painting the Starry Night, and while he was in the mental hospital, some other mental patient came up and was like, "Duh," and then like smeared shit all over the Starry Night, and then another employee was like, or an orderly was like, "Why are you mad? It is just a painting, Vincent. It is just a painting." And he goes, "Just a painting? Just a painting?" God. Anyways, this guy Aiden doesn't even Are you serious? Are you serious right now, bro? I know you're not talking to me, man. I know you're not talking to me. I know you're not talking to me. Performative crash out. Performative. True. It's just like people see I'm having fun and they just want to ruin it. They just want to ruin my fun. They want to ruin my mood. They want to destroy my existence. And what have I done to them? Ask yourself this. What have I done to you? What have I done to you? How have I wronged you, my friend? Because if the roles were reversed and I saw that you were enjoying something, so that you were getting a sprinkle of joy in the black hole that is your life, I would be happy for you. Okay? I would be happy for you, and I would support you in doing that. I would support you. And what do I get in return? What do I get in return? People that just see the most tiny little thing that I'm enjoying, the most tiny little speck of joy, and they decide, you know what? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna drop a giant fucking shit on it. Anyways. On to the next topic. 83-year-old Senator Mitch McConnell tripped and fell when
My name is Stella. I want to ask, do you support ICE taking working people off the streets and kidnapping them?
This is Congress, ladies. This is Congress. See, it's not even like, just to be clear, or no. Anytime I ever hear a story about an old person dying, it always starts with, they had a fall. They had a fall. They fell. Yo, shout out to Zach Prince for clipping. Streamer Aiden Underground, okay. You did perfect. The caption is perfect. This is a perfect format. But what you want to be clipping is moments that are going to appeal to people who have no idea who I am, because people who do know who I am are gonna, or who don't know who I am, are gonna not give a fuck that I forgave everyone. But this is the spirit, Zach. I see you. I appreciate you. Zach is one of the people that it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't. He sees this sprinkle of joy in my life, and he decides, you know what, Aiden, I'm gonna support that. I'm gonna support that. Zach's always been a real one. Always been a real one. Ride or die. Anyways. I see you, Zach. I hear you, buddy. And you're much appreciated. Apparently, Parlo is making a new video. The Pyro video still hasn't been released to the general public yet. And it's a video with a lot of potential. Premiering in 41 hours. Goodbye. I was told that this video is going to contain, like, someone, like, linked a caption, or accompanied this video with a caption. And I don't know where Parlo posted it, but he's, like, talking about his, like, upcoming court case or some... I don't know what's going on here, man. I don't know what's happening. Check the description. The description just seems like word vomit. Oh, here it is. Sorry. Recently, I was arrested. This video is a goodbye while I defend myself from many lies and respond to more false allegations that have been spread. Thank you. Got it. Aiden, what do you want to talk about? I don't know what I want to talk about. I just want people to play the block game. Anyways. Also, folks, we have a food channel now on the server where I'll review your cooking on stream. But back to the Mitch McConnell thing. Any story that I've ever heard about an old person dying, it always begins with a fall. And it's like, I don't like the whole age argument for when you should resign. Okay, I don't like the age argument because I think that there are 83-year-olds that have like the cognition required, or that have the cognition that would enable them to be in a political position. I don't think just because someone's 83 that they necessarily then they shouldn't fucking then they shouldn't be able to, you know, sit in office. But the question for me would then be, okay, when they're above a certain age, if they're like considered a senior, they should be having to take physicals and cognitive tests on like a semi-regular basis to confirm that they are you know, astute enough to deal with the responsibilities of governance. 83, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that there are some 83-year-olds that can absolutely be capable of being Congress, of sitting in Congress. $5 from G's. The fuck is Glorbus? I just made up a name. I didn't care to put in the fart guy's name, so I just made up someone's name. But like, you had a, what's her name? Dude, it's like so crazy when you're like watching a documentary about some old event or old politics, and it's like, yeah, Senator such and such, and you're like, wait, this person is still in office, huh? I remember I was forced to watch that Harvey Milk biopic for class, and they like mentioned, because Dianne Feinstein had found Harvey Milk's body after he had been shot by Dan White, who also shot the mayor of San Francisco, and it's like, wait a sec. She only was out of office in 2023 after she fucking died. But she was literally like, hold on. She was in politics for forever. Like, this was her before she had died. This is her going, like, showing up to the chambers of Congress. It's like, at this point, you do need to step away. You do need to fucking step away. I'm still confused about what you want from me. Well, that's the problem. Okay, I'd much rather... I'm like, actually, I'm angered at confusion. I'm angered at people's confusion over certain things, because it's like, you should just get it. You should just get it. You should just understand why I have a grievance, and reassure me that said grievance is unsubstantiated. Okay? Telling me that I don't know what's good. Ali Khan, after posting like the docs of 18 children in my server, why was I timed out? Performing arts. So true. All right, well, apparently Moist Critical has Trump derangement syndrome. Let's check this out. $2 from Scallywag. I did my part. Check stream clips in Discord. Yo! Thank you for... Here I am, clipping for Aiden. I'm gonna drop a giant fucking shit on it. Okay, thank you for the clip, Scallywag. Much appreciated. Who is Tactical Templar? I'm getting like major 2016 skeptic energy.
Brothers, Moist Critical is the Burger King equivalent of political commentators. He is somebody that is going to deliver you pre-processed garbage, just pure slop, no thought put into any of it. The most hyperbolic left-wing Trump deranged garbage that you've ever seen.
Is he that left-wing? Like, I feel like Moist Critical is barely political.
You are not prepared for some of the sort of shit that we're about to see in this video. And keep in mind, this was put 3 hours ago. I just got done reading an article, and I'm going to be making an independent video. Trump is on a plane to Tel Aviv to greet the hostages that are now being released solely because of him and his deal with Israel.
Solely because of him? Once again, I have to, if somebody has anything good to read about, like, the nature of this deal, please link it in my inbox. I wouldn't read it on stream. I'd read it in my own time. I actually have yet to read up too much on this deal, but I highly doubt that it is solely because of him.
Israel and Hamas, the peace deal that is now currently in effect. Those hostages are going to see the light of day after 2 years in hell because of Donald Trump. And Moist Critical is sitting around bitching about Trump because CoffeeZilla put out a video because CoffeeZilla no like Trump.
Was that the premise of CoffeeZilla's video? I know like Trump? wasn't like Trump like literally promoting a coin at one point that like was like a rug pull or a pump and dump or whatever the fuck you call it, and like CoffeeZilla actually, or it was Melania, and CoffeeZilla actually like invoked like genuine grievances against said coin. Like, no? Okay, I guess that didn't happen. I guess I'm just like misremembering something. Something like that? Okay. Yeah, like his contention here doesn't even seem to be that like the grievance is unfounded. It's just Trump did like good thing, therefore like you can't talk about bad thing.
This is one of the most pathetic, unhinged, deranged, low information and low IQ videos that I've seen in a while, and I want to share it with you. We're not going to watch the whole thing because it's nearly 20 minutes of incoherent babbling, of rambling about Trump. You know, and by the way, Charlie was the one that called Netanyahu a genocidal freak and said, if you want to send your money anywhere, send it to the people in Gaza. Not a word from this fucking greasy creep about the fact that Trump made this peace deal. The people...
Wait, what? Wait, what is the contention here? Does he dispute that labeling of Netanyahu? And if so, please explain why. Please explain why. It seems like Netanyahu absolutely has pushed. Netanyahu contributed to the circumstances that ultimately led to October 7th. Push for, or made absolutely no effort to what's the fucking word? Active promotion by his cabinet of fucking ethnic resettlement, right? Literal ethnic cleansing, right? Why doesn't Egypt take them for talking about like 2 million people, right? Like the definition of ethnic cleansing. Netanyahu's promoted the continuance of settlements in the West Bank. I don't understand, like, I guess why, unless you like think, okay, genocidal is hyperbolic, he's actually pro-ethnic cleansing.
People in Palestine are celebrating, the people in Israel are celebrating, but the one that's not celebrating is Moist Critical. He seems more angry at Trump than ever. This is unhinged, pure, unadulterated Trump derangement syndrome. So let's get into it. Let's see what has ruffled Moist Critical's jimmies as it relates to Trump after, mind you, this historic peace deal, which is going to save lives.
Historic? Isn't it just that? Wait, does this guy actually think, by the way, that this is going to be some lasting peace? Also, didn't Trump continue to fund and promote the Netanyahu government after, what, at minimum 40,000 dead? I think that the number, or I don't remember the exact number of the death toll, right, in Gaza, but like after 40,000 dead, Trump was literally still promoting like Netanyahu's like pro-ethnic cleansing sentiment, right? He was also actively engaging in the fund. So to be fair, so are the Democrats, right? But I don't think there's like been a more pro. There's been like a more pro like Israeli right wing president in like recent history than Trump. Yeah, he recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. Yeah.
Books and cartoons. But now I know it's a very real thing that you can see happening daily in this country. Now, the big thing I want to talk about, I'm going to talk about a lot here. There's going to be a bunch of blabber in here and drool coming out of my mouth as I'm spitting.
Only 40. I think it's higher. I think I'm misquoting the number. I don't know why I said 40K. Sorry, 67K.
Because I'm about to be getting pretty passionate.
The drool's coming out of his mouth because his takes are so fucking stupid. This is probably one of his most unhinged and pathetic videos.
He hasn't even said anything yet.
And I'm not saying that just because I'm a supporter of Trump. I'm saying that because this is demented. Trump is on the heels of one of the most historic peace deals that we've seen, at least in my lifetime. It's incredible.
And like Trump is such a shitty president that any marginal any marginal perceived accomplishment on their end. And I have to look into this before I verify that it's even an accomplishment. But any, like, they have to, like, they actively have to exaggerate and be like, this is like record breaking in the continuance of world peace or some shit. It's like Trump like ends like the brief border clash between I don't even know if he ended it, but it's like, let's just say hypothetically that like Trump like ends like the brief border clash between Thailand and Cambodia. It's like Trump saves millions of lives.
You know, last time you saw something like this, it was like Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Now you've got Donald Trump flying today. Actually, as Moist Critical is uploading this shitty fucking video, Trump is flying to Tel Aviv to greet the hostages that are being released solely because of him. And this fucking freak is sitting there bitching for 20 minutes about nonsense that he doesn't understand.
Dude.
That he is ignorant of. Didn't I just hear from Asmongold that Charlie doesn't talk about politics? Wasn't that the rationale behind his video about Hassan? You know, Hassan was saying, oh, it took Charlie 2 years to talk about the genocide in Gaza, and Asmongold was like, oh, Charlie doesn't talk about politics. He fucking does. He is a Trump deranged loser. And by the way,
he does barely talk about Trump. Like, what do you, like, these people, like, literally have a term for people who are critical of Trump. Like, if anything, what has kept this country great historically, has been, or the great aspects of it, right, has been internal criticism. Some of, like, the worst stains on this country's history, that were later, that, you know, the Trump administration would like everyone, or like to pretend doesn't exist, or erase, ended up being wiped away through or stopped from getting bigger through the process of internal criticism of leadership, like what is the standard for somebody having Trump derangement syndrome? What is the standard? Like, people who don't like him?
when I first saw this video, he starts talking about crypto coin and crypto bros, and I'm thinking, okay, he's gonna shit on crypto guys, fine. But it immediately morphs into a Trump the Range rant. And I think that's just so fucking pathetic. We're on the precipice of a historic event. Trump is headed to Tel Aviv to greet hostages that have been in fucking hell for 2 years. And now you decide to put out this video?
That have been in hell? Wait, what about... I'm sorry, right? I don't think that, like, there's like really a good justification or rationale in holding, like, civilians hostage. No shit, right? No shit. Obviously, I'm against that. But it's like this guy was actively promoting the government that has created conditions that amount to living hell on the Gaza Strip, right? We have like 67,000 dead so far, and I mean, the majority of which are civilians. It's like, we did it, Patrick. We saved the city.
Did you get a call from Hassan after your video criticizing him for shocking and abusing his dog? Did you get a call? He said he was going to DM you. Did he DM you? Did he push you into making a Trump the Range video to prove that you're still one of the good ones? Hey, Charlie, you better put out this video against Trump, otherwise I'm going to have my audience come after you. We want to...
So far, he has not, like, actually addressed a criticism that Charlie has evoked against Trump. He's not explained why any given criticism made by Charlie against Trump is unfounded. He's merely criticizing the notion of Charlie being critical of Trump.
No, because this is an out-of-place video, or otherwise it would have been if I didn't know that Most Critical is a one-dimensional thinker and doesn't really have any ideas of his own. So immediately when he started talking about Trump and the economy, I go, oh, CoffeeZilla put out a video. And I was fucking right. I was right. I went over and I saw that CoffeeZilla put out a video that was scathing about Trump. Okay, now makes sense. Most Critical watched one video from CoffeeZilla, and now he's an economic super sleuth. He is a guru about economics. Oh, hey.
See, Gang Stalker, much appreciated, buddy. You're unbanned. That's all you need to do, man. That's all you need to do. If I ever ban you over anything, and you literally just let me know that you know why you were banned, I'll unban you. Okay? Well, actually, that depends. That's not gonna be... Aiden, I acknowledge that sending 18 terabytes of Southeast Asian like gore videos and beheadings was incorrect. I'll never do it again. Okay, then I'm not gonna probably unban you. But for some things, right? If you at least, that's the bare minimum amount. If you can just acknowledge why you were banned, that lets me know that you would understand, that you have an understanding, and I'll unban you.
It's most critical here. In the middle of my SpongeBob memes and ejaculation references, I'm going to talk to you about tariffs and tell you about the effect it has on the economy and really how Donald Trump is one of the worst presidents in the world. Let me tell you about the effects of the 100% tariffs that he put on China and how that's going to have an effect on distribution. Like, no. Either you're the SpongeBob ejaculation guy with the giant fucking dildos, or you're a political guy that enters into that realm and arena. You don't get to be both. You don't get to put up these anti-Trump, deranged fucking retard statements and then hide behind, God, I'm just a dumb, greasy homunculus. You can't talk.
Well, yeah, because he is somebody that, like, just because you talk about politics, when we call somebody political, we don't merely mean anybody that has a political opinion. We mean somebody who their, like, existence online is very frequently based around, like, things we would all universally acknowledge to be political. Just because Charlie has political opinions, I would hardly consider him a political YouTuber. Now, if you were to go after those political opinions, right, I don't think him saying, I'm not a political YouTuber, is an excuse. Because you absolutely can dispute the politics of somebody who is mostly apolitical, right? The problem I'm having here is that this guy is not explaining, like, a single grievance, or a single issue, like a single specific criticism that Charlie has evoked and why it would be incorrect.
Bad about me. I'm just a poor, innocent numbskull. I'm just dumb. You have to pick one.
And the big focus is on the huge crypto collapse from yesterday.
So I'm thinking at this point, Charlie's like sitting here saying like Trump is like the personification of Satan or whatever. And like maybe that's what he has like some kind of grievance with. I don't know, but like it's probably gonna be the most mild criticism of Trump ever. And you have to realize at this point that you people are in a cult if like merely criticizing the guy is what like enrages you to this extent. I mean, I honestly don't get it. You have terms for people who are merely critical of the guy to like isolate them and make them the other. You have terms for people within your own party who don't bow to the guy to isolate them and make them the other, like rhinos or whatever. I mean, at some point, like you have to wake up and understand, like you are in just like a giant fucking cult. Hold on. What's the, like, dude, I brought this clip up before. This one is my favorite, like, honestly, my favorite one. So, like, they were talking about the Biden pullout in Afghanistan on Newsmax, and they got somebody on who was he's a soldier who was in Afghanistan to speak about this.
Didn't happen under President Trump, and I know there's a lot of people on the left that want to try to blame President Trump. He wanted out of Afghanistan.
They're having a friendly conversation, and then the Newsmax reporter needs to emphasize that Trump's policy was like good in Afghanistan. This didn't happen under him, right? And then the veteran he's not gotten this guy on to debate him. He's gotten him on to contribute to the narrative about how disastrous the pullout was.
Afghanistan real bad. He was real frustrated not being able to get out. But Joe, I appreciate you working to get them out. I really do, and I wish you all luck in the world.
With due respect, with due respect, Grant, I mean, like veterans, you know, being one, right, and our friends are over there. Right. We followed this closely for multiple administrations, and we know that Trump's administration's efforts here were fairly weak. That they were trying to limit the number of people that would get out, and so there was coordination problems.
Joe, I'm gonna cut you. I'm already weak. I'm already low on time, Joe. Cut him off, please. Cut him off now. Cut him off now. You're not going to blame this on President Trump on my show. That's not happening. Now, I appreciate the work that you're doing. God bless you for being a veteran. God bless you for trying to get.
Dude, it's like these people are in a fucking cult.
And the very suspicious, very lucky trader who was able to cash out $190 million off of it because they were shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum a day before and all the way up until a minute before Trump's Truth Social post announcing the massive tariffs on China, which crashed the entire market. And then 30 minutes later, they cashed out $190 million. It seems like they might have known something, but that can't be, right? That would be corruption.
Oh, corruption. Yeah, so what Trump was doing, in the midst of him signing this historic peace deal and working on all these different things, he was actually calling up all his friends. All right, guys. All right, listen. I'm coming out with this Truth Social post, so you better short this particular stock. You better short this particular stock. Really? That is your conclusion? God, CoffeeZilla has fried your fucking brain, brother.
Wait, you're not even just your argument is Trump was like working so hard to do thing good that he couldn't have had time to like tell people to explain to people what he was about to do, to like give them like the inside scoop so that they could engage in like insider trading. He just didn't have a moment of time to do that? Are you serious? You understand Trump's not personally doing this, right? Whatever went on there, his cabinet is handling most of that. I'm not saying that even as a point against Trump, because, you know, most presidents, like the heavy end of the work is handled by their cabinet. But to think that Trump then wouldn't have time to tell his buddies what he was about to do is like such a non-argument.
That is embarrassing. That's your conclusion? That Trump was in cahoots? Oh, guys, it's corruption from the Trump administration. That must be it. Now, ignore the fact that Democrats have done this for the last 40 years. In fact,
okay, so then what aboutism too? Well, Democrats engage in insider trading. First of all, okay, even if I was to grant that, I would say that's bad. I would just sit here and tell you that's bad. Why are you doing whataboutism now? Well, it didn't happen because he didn't have the time to do that, which is an absurd non-argument. And if it did happen, well, they do it too.
There's something called the Nancy Pelosi bill. It's called the Pelosi bill. Because Nancy Pelosi would do this for the last 40 years. But suddenly Moist Critical cares about this? He didn't care when Biden did it. He didn't care when any of the Democrats did it. He didn't care when Chuck Schumer did it. He didn't care when Pelosi did it. AOC. How is AOC worth as much money as she is? Moist Critical doesn't care. Most Critical doesn't give a shit if she insider trades. He doesn't give a shit about how she earns millions of dollars.
That bill was introduced to the Senate. It wasn't passed.
On what's right? The salary?
Hold on. It's still as of
somebody working in the government in her position? Not millions. So you want to have your cake and eat it too. You want to pretend, okay guys, I'm this retard, I'm this grimy, slimy, gamer guy that doesn't talk about politics, but then you're going to dip your toe into politics and you're going to go off on Donald Trump. No. You are a political entity.
Hold on. I'm looking into this. I don't want to actually...
Charlie, you are. And the fact is...
Aiden, Democrats also do insider, and the Democrats that do are bad for doing it. And there should be some kind of investigation and consequence for that. Obviously. I'm sorry, is your argument to, like, an anti-corruption argument to be like, oh, well, other people engage in and also engage in forms of corruption? That's a non-argument. That's like a total non-argument.
Let me remind people of something. Moist Critical lost a debate with Sneeko where Sneeko was taking up the position that the age of consent should be abolished. And I didn't even think that was a debate that could be lost. But you see, Charlie lost that debate because he came up with a position that was actually slightly worse than Sneeko's, which is that 9-year-olds should be able to transition both physically and in terms of the chemical castration. He affirmed that twice, by the way. And only after feedback, a couple days later, did he come out and say, hey guys, Moist Critical here, man, you'd have to be an idiot homunculus to think I was serious.
Okay, so there's like zero actual arguments presented yet about why anything he's stated so far is incorrect. Actually, we got one argument, and that argument is Trump didn't have any time to tell people that he was gonna do something that would benefit them in terms of trading. That he would threaten more tariffs on China that would allow them to trade with advanced knowledge. He didn't have the time to call them up and tell them that. What? That's a non-argument. Or no, you're presenting it like it's an argument, but it's a completely unsubstantiated one. Because first of all, we don't know the nature of the discussion, the nature in which that information would have been shared with these people, etc., etc. And we don't know if that would take 30 minutes to 2 hours. It could have taken less than 30 minutes. It could have taken 15 minutes. And to argue that Trump would have no time to do that because he's so busy brokering this like a historic peace deal or whatever is absurd.
That I actually said and affirmed and said that I wouldn't mind living in that world. Just keep in mind that this is a guy that has a history of making absolutely indefensible, retarded statements if it's in the direction of a left-wing narrative. And this is no different. This is him shitting the bed, being embarrassing, because he watched a video from CoffeeZilla. I'm just saying, it's terrible. And this is more anti-Trump deranged bullshit on the eve of him signing a historic peace deal. Charlie, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself. You really should.
And this administration doesn't engage in that kind of...
So he's criticizing the fact that, like, people connected to Trump, like, engaged in trades in advance before the announcement, engaged in highly beneficial trades that were affected by Trump's later announcement of tariffs. And he's asking, okay, is this coincidental or did they have advanced knowledge, which it would seem like they did.
Nefarious activity, except for all the previous times that this exact same thing has happened with Trump announcing things on Truth Social that people close to him that suckle his fucking teats must have had insider knowledge on because they're able to cash out millions upon millions of dollars because of his rinse and repeat cycle of threatening tariffs, backing off tariffs, postponing tariffs, just fluctuating the market up and down, yet people in his inner circle must be privy to this knowledge.
So let me just put this in perspective. This fucking retard, this low IQ leftist piece of shit, is saying that the only reason that Trump is applying tariffs or one of the primary reasons he's applying tariffs, is to fluctuate the market so that he could tell his friends so that his friends could get rich. No, it isn't the fact that these countries have been taking advantage of us and he's trying to put America in a better economic position, and he's doing it by imposing tariffs.
Hold on. So there's a trader that has been dubbed Trump's Insider that opened a 120 to 127 million Bitcoin short position at $100,000 ahead of an expected presidential announcement Tuesday, sparking fears of another market crash. The trader gained notoriety after opening over 1.1 billion in shorts against Bitcoin and Ethereum just before President Trump announced 100% tariffs on Chinese imports, generating an estimated 160 to 200 million in profits as Bitcoin plunged from 122,000 to 102,000. Multiple reports claim the trader opened shorts ranging from 120 million to 600 million across Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana ahead of Trump's 3 p.m. announcement. The precise timing, just as during the tariff crash, fueled accusations of insider trading and market manipulation. Bitcoin currently... Hold on.
Which have been amazingly...
Check Icy, you need to see something that Bobby made. What is this? What is this? Hold on. How does he think Trump is not above a money scheme? Exactly. Exactly. Trump has always been shady with money, and some of his arguments have literally amounted to, oh, well, Hillary's donors do it as well. Hold on. What is this? Performative crash out. Performative. True. It's just like people see I'm having fun and they just want to ruin it. They just want to ruin my fun. They want to ruin my mood. They want to destroy my existence. And what have I done to them? Ask yourself this. What have I done to you? What have I done to you? How have I wronged you, my friend? Because if the roles were reversed and I saw that you were enjoying something, so that you were getting a sprinkle of joy in the black hole that is your life, I would be happy for you, okay? I would be happy for you, and I would support you in doing that. I would support you. And what do I get in return? What do I get in return? People that just see the most tiny little thing that I'm enjoying, the most tiny little speck of joy, and they decide, you know what? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna drop a giant fucking shit on it. Dude, I actually look deranged here. Anyways. Okay. At FBI, I actually totally deranged in this. What the fuck? By the way, as always, folks, you want to support the stream, you could donate through Streamlabs, Super Chat. Yo, Jimberloot the 5. We're comparing insider trading to doing things as the president to artificially shift the market in favor of you and your friends. I thought, wouldn't that fall under... Listen, as I said on my previous stream, I don't nearly know enough about economics to speak as like an authority on it. I literally genuinely thought that fell under the same branch, right? But like obviously the actual implementation of policy to shift said market seems like just like a very, like, based on what I believe insider trading was, like an extreme variant of it. It's so much worse. It's market manipulation. Oh, okay, got it. So if you're implementing policy, but is he actually, like, some of the insider trades were based off mere announcements? Did he actually go through with the things he was announcing? But if you're like actively, so the people that would benefit as a result of what he's doing would be the inside traders, while Trump himself would be manipulating the market, right? And then also the ramifications of whatever he does to suit the wallets of himself and his and whoever is like being benefited by this would be at the expense of the American people, because you should be dictating policy and announcing policy based on what would be beneficial to the populace as a whole, to the country as a whole. And if you're doing it to suit your own financial interests, there's a conflict of interest there, where even if we couldn't attack Trump's policies on their own, you could say, are these policies even being implemented with the best interest of the best interest of the populace in mind? Well, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so I'm not too familiar with the Pelosi insider trading stuff. I can accept, like, I don't even need to, like, let's just say I can even grant you that what she was doing was insider trading. I can criticize that. But I would assume the argument would be her trading would be based off of, through her position, advanced knowledge of things that were going to go ahead. She wasn't creating things that were going to, like, she wasn't creating policy that was going to lead to enlarging of her own fucking net worth, right? The trades would be done through advanced knowledge of that. This seems like the accusation is Trump's, like, foreign policy in regards to economics is actually being dictated by what he can do that would then influence the market in his favor, right? Yeah, and the negative ramifications of what Trump is doing would seem to be like would be like way more consequential than like the insider trading that Pelosi's accused of. Once again, I'm not really great when it comes to economics, as I've said a million times. I'm trying to learn as I go, so please do not take me as an authority on anything involving money. I know the irony, okay? The irony is not lost upon me, okay? I understand the irony of me saying this, but don't listen to me when it comes to money, please. But I don't even need to know what's going on here to understand the issues with this guy's arguments. He's attacked based on a "they do it too" line, or a Trump didn't have the time to give people knowledge of this, which is absurd, because if the accusation is that Trump's announcement and implementation of further tariffs against China is being done with the plan to enrich him and those who have inside knowledge of it, we don't know how far in advance that would have been planned.
Fucking effective, you disgusting freak. They've been amazingly effective in getting people to do what he wants, and then he can lower the tariff. He can go, okay, we're doing a 10% tariff. Okay, we're rising at 100%, and then they capitulate and do what he wants, and then he lowers it back down, maybe to 20%. You're like, well, it's not 110, and it's still a win. Charlie is so fucking stupid. And the audacity to do this, right as Trump is announcing and flying to Tel Aviv to greet these hostages, it is so absolutely indefensible and egregious.
Because they are making absolute bullseye trades based on that before it becomes public. So this isn't really anything new. It's just the most egregious instance, because you can literally see it. This account opens and starts shorting Bitcoin and Ethereum a day before this announcement, and then a minute before the Truth Social post goes live. Like, it's unbelievable. And if you're a MAGA cultist, it actually is unbelievable. They refuse to believe it.
A MAGA cultist? Wow, guys, a MAGA cultist. Now, anyone who has a fucking brain, let me ask you, which side do you find tends to act more like a cult? Is it the Republicans? Is it Trump?
Yes.
That argue about differences of...
Yes, absolutely. In terms of the maintenance of internal criticism, literally nobody criticizes the left more than the left, okay? Nobody criticizes the left more than the left. Nobody criticizes the leadership of the left more than the left, okay? We're insanely critical of ourselves. We're incredibly our support is actually not like based around a single person, but more ideas and who we believe is best going to implement those ideas, right? In your case, all of the support and the backing is based around a single person. Things are not good because they align with a consistent set of values or standards. Things are either good or bad based on whatever that individual is doing at that given point in time, right? Internal criticism in your case is actively isolated and attacked in the sense of labeling people as rhinos, people who are influential, aren't even on your side, that do then attack the leadership of your side, are smeared with God knows how many tactics. Like Tom Hanks driven off of Twitter from allegations that he was cannibalizing children. Notice when they publish these like fake lists, by the way, they will like literally doctor and be like, these people were seen on an Epstein list. It's just a list of liberal celebrities that actually, no, we have no substantiation that half of these people even had an association with Epstein. We don't know where you're sourcing this. These people fall for graphics, by the way. Like they will like attack critics of the other side with the worst, the most detested allegations and labeling, right? If you're a prominent liberal celebrity that has spoken out against Trump or his policies, chances are at least 1,000 of these people have tried to paint you as some sort of pedophile, right? Nobody would actually be seriously pushing the narrative that Alec Baldwin is like is some kind of murderer if had it not been for the fact that he was on SNL impersonating Trump. It is a giant fucking cult.
Opinion openly and vociferously? They're unapologetic about their differences of opinion? Or is it the left that demands hegemony, that defends pedophiles, terrorists, criminals? How bad was that talking down and dressing down from Hassan? This is a shockingly pathetic video. MAGA cultist, really? Oh, brother. MAGA cultist. Charlie, when was the last time you did a video in the last 100 days about the terrorism from Antifa, the far left, on the Portland facility, the Portland ICE facility? When was the last time you talked about that? Did you talk about, Charlie? Did you talk about the laser attack that was being planned by Antifa, where they were going to use high-power lasers to try to take down a helicopter? And that in Portland, they actually had to ground helicopters because they were afraid that it was a credible threat? Did you do a video about that? No, of course you didn't.
Why would what? How does that align with any? Charlie himself has covered like crypto related shit before, right? He's covered like he's covered like scams before. He's covered I mean, isn't he like an associate of CoffeeZilla's? Like this is far more relevant to his like previous history of coverage than any of these other things you're reaching. Like, oh, but you cover this, but you didn't cover this, which once again is a non-argument, by the way. I'm sure we could get here and have Charlie say shining lasers in people's eyes is bad, at aircraft is bad. Don't do that, right? But why would he devote a whole segment to that? He would probably just grant you that people planning on doing that suck. But he's actively talking about the president of the United States, like one of the most powerful positions on earth.
Who's in a cult? It's fucking you. You and Hassan and the other degenerate, low IQ, bottom-feeding, subhuman garbage on the left, especially in the streamer space. I'm so glad we have Asmongold. I don't agree with Asmongold on everything,
dude,
but Asmongold is like a breath of fresh air in a sea of these fucking left-wing creeps. And I don't even understand it. Most criticals from Florida, you'd think that he would be far more based and understand how outrageous and ridiculous what he's saying is.
The very real reality that they are getting fucking hosed. Trump and Trump's family's net worth has exploded since...
Yeah, exploded. It has gone down drastically. You realize, Charlie, that Trump was nearly...
That's not true. That's not true, huh? It went down drastically prior to... Wait. My understanding was, like, prior to his position, like, holding the presidency, he was, like, losing money. But isn't... Huh? That's not true. Where is he getting that source? Huh? It looks like since assuming the presidency, he's actually made like an exponential amount of money. His net worth has actually grown like a fuck ton. Where is it? He just said it hasn't grown.
Assassinated twice. Do you realize that Trump and his family have gone through unprecedented lawfare over the last couple of years? That every aspect of their life and their business practices have been under a microscope. And when the Democrats couldn't find anything, they fucking made it up. And by the way,
they made it up. They made up the false slate of electors. They made up this like genuine, verifiable conspiracy to overthrow the results of a Democratic election, which treasure troves of evidence have been presented supporting.
Letitia James is now under federal investigation for the very thing that they were trying to charge Trump for. But the difference is she actually did it. Do you remember when Judge Engoron? No, of course you don't, because you don't know the details about any of this stuff, Charlie. Do you remember when Judge Engoron and
Wait, how does whatever the fuck Letitia James was doing change anything about the conspiracy to overturn the election?
and Letitia James tried to collude together to manufacture this narrative that Mar-a-Lago, Trump's Mar-a-Lago, Florida property was worth $18 million? Do you remember that? They actually charged Trump $500 million. One of the biggest settlements. I mean, is it unconstitutional? Of course it is. It was absolutely absurd, but they did it anyway. And you want to talk about corruption? We've got foreign invaders in our country. We've got a left wing that are terrorists that cheered the death of Charlie Kirk.
Hold on.
You want to sit here and whinge and bitch about this fucking nothing that you don't even understand. You're clueless. And what became abundantly clear is when Charlie was talking about this jet from Qatar, this is when it really became abundantly clear that this guy has no fucking idea what he's talking about.
It is fucking horrifying. Trump is now building a Qatari Air Force base in Idaho. Trump has accepted a huge $400 million Wumbo Turbo Superstar jet from Qatar.
I just want to take a moment. The jet was being gifted to the Air Force. This is not a personal gift to Trump. Trump does not get the jet after his presidency. I think what they said is after the Trump administration, they're going to decommission it. And it's going to serve as part of like a museum or something. But
They're going to use it as a museum. What? Huh? Where is he getting this from? Does he legitimately believe they're going to decommission this jet in less than 4 years?
they could still use it. It's a $400 million jet. By the way, the jet was made here. So the Qataris bought a bunch of jets and said, we're going to give one to the Americans.
Wait, it's still, wait, just because it was made, what does that change? What does that change? It was owned by them.
Can you believe, I kept yelling, Trump, he starts foaming and like having a stroke.
He actually said that perfectly reasonably.
These people are insane. Donald Trump gets a major win for the American people in the United States, and these people just can't handle it. Trump's brand has taken a fucking pounding. Half of the country needs like therapy.
His net worth has increased by billions. His net worth has increased by what, like 3 billion? Since he's assumed the presidency? This guy just lied. He said his net worth hasn't grown. He's just like outright lied so far. He's in the most powerful position in the country, and he's literally making billions. You have this like narrative of this like poor persecuted guy, but your evidence of persecution is him being held accountable legally for his own actions.
Time you mention Trump's name, there have been people that have tried to kill Trump. No, he has not made.
Yes, and that's you should not try to kill a president or a presidential candidate. But there have been someone tried to kill Gerald Ford. That's not going to really change. If Gerald Ford, I don't know a whole lot about his presidency, but if Gerald Ford was like implementing like a bunch of like fucking like shitty policy and like doing a bunch of shady shit, that wouldn't really change anything.
Hundreds of millions or hundreds of billions of dollars.
Reagan getting shot doesn't change anything about Reagan's time in office.
As a result of being president. They nearly killed him twice. They tried to put him in jail for like 150 years, Charlie. What the fuck? And by the way, I'm not going to watch the rest of this video. I made it 6 minutes in with this particular story. Donald Trump is on his way to Israel to free these hostages. These hostages are going to be freed and Donald Trump is going to greet them. They are only being freed as a result of Donald Trump. These people...
Is this guy willing to debate? Because when I get off stream, I'm literally just going to be researching every fucking claim. Every claim he's, like, pointed to or made. And I'll challenge him. Mansa Girl, yeah, what's her name? From? Yeah, she tried to shoot Gerald Ford. All right, what else do we have? Apparently there's a fake psychologist. Fake psychologist drama, folks. Get ready for it. Listen, I gotta be honest with you. I know today's stream isn't going great. We didn't have any topics, but I am trying to stream a lot be consistent about it, and we're gonna have some streams that are up, some streams that are down. Maybe there's gonna be something that saves this one, I don't know, but it might not be the most entertaining. We're kind of taking it as we go, and it's pretty unplanned. But if you have anything you want me to cover or check out or talk about, please feel free to let me know. It's the showing up that counts, people. It's the showing up that counts. Did you cover the JF drama? Is there new drama with JF? My wife went on an expedition. No, she was his girlfriend or his wife. Mama JF went on an expedition into the forest to frolic in the fields. Where is his wife, by the way? Where the fuck is JF's wife? They've still not found Mama JF, just to be clear. And honestly, I don't think they ever will find her. JF was described by like a court-appointed psychologist, if I remember correctly, as like an incredibly intelligent sociopath. He would absolutely understand how to dispose of a body to a point where it's never found. DM you the details? Okay, yeah. So apparently there was a woman. There was a woman that. Okay, is this gonna be non-tent? Is this the drama? Apparently. Okay, thank you, Raw Kittenhouse. Apparently there was apparently there was like a woman who knew about him because of the allegations. They met, they started dating, and she was having a baby, and then they fell out, and she didn't put his name on the birth certificate.
Honorary. On the screen, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. You can be an Alberta housewife. I'm not married, so you can still be.
It's boring? Then fuck that, dude. My wife, she is frolicking in the fields. It's not my fault they cannot find her. Hold on. We'll go over the fake psychologist drama. One sec, people. By the way, if you guys want to support the stream as always, we're nearly a quarter of the way to stream legal. You can donate through Super Chats, Streamlabs, link below. Also join the Discord, all that good stuff. Where is the... Oh, I think it's here? Okay.
So these screenshots are not everywhere from my understanding.
Okay, so it's got my teen's number on there. And I just don't know how to make it go away. Is there a way that we can avoid talking about the screenshots altogether? Because that's the number that you get when you...
I interviewed Sadia Khan.
Oh, snap.
That's right. If you guys don't know who she is, she's a self-proclaimed licensed psychologist who offers people counseling and relationship advice and therapy. She was recently outed, turning out to be a side chick to some rich dude in Dubai, which she vehemently denies. I had the chance to interview her, and what you need to know is that she's a pathological liar. I already knew this lady was a fraud from my deep research. Here are the facts.
So she's not licensed. Got it. So she is not licensed. Does she at least, because other fake psychologist dramas I've seen, it's like somebody's like greatest qualification was they had an associate's in psych or some shit. Does she even have a bachelor's in psychology?
Fact number one, is she a psychologist? Absolutely not. She's not licensed anywhere, has not been. Fact number two, she lies about her education. I went to her LinkedIn, she's got things noted, she's mentioned them to me personally. But after I did some digging, I found out that this girl has a bunch of Photoshop degrees that she just carries around and posts places online. Fact number three, she claims that a lot of this stuff was doctored in regards to her
honestly, banger move. I'm gonna start photoshopping degrees from Harvard.
being a side chick, the screenshots of the text messages.
The screenshot's completely fake.
What are you gonna do about it? I'll suck his dick if you have that attitude.
What I can tell you is that I happen to have access to some screenshots that are not public. And when I showed her, she looked a little distraught. So these screenshots are not everywhere from my understanding. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on there. And who is that from?
And when I showed her, she looked a little distraught. She looked a little scared. And I said, you have nothing to be scared about. I appreciate your second skills. And these text messages are great.
You did not say that.
I sure did. No. Fact number 4, despite claiming to be a psychologist, she does go and harass people and flames them in the most disgusting way. The way I set up this interview is first, I just get her to lay out her facts. I didn't accuse her of nothing. I didn't say anything. I'm like, a lot of people say some of these degrees are fake. Tell me. I know some of her facts are not true, but I wanted her to be able to say it so if I confront them afterwards, I'd be like, well, this is what you just said 5 minutes ago. Can you
That's
explain?
good. That's how you get that. You make sure when you're going into it, talking to somebody that you know pathologically lies. You want to make sure you have the receipts for obvious. This is a given before you talk to them, because it is much harder for them to talk their way out of like material evidence presented in front of them that yes, your statement is actually like completely incorrect, because somebody who is very much in the habit of lying without material evidence will be able to talk their way out of everything.
Yes.
Thank you for taking the time to speak. I can't actually say anything.
Aiden, you need a side chick? I have like 15.
Definitely. In Dubai, they're so strict with everything. If you say anything, just I'm going to send you the PowerPoint so you can understand.
PowerPoint?
And, because it's like not properly, but so just allegation by allegation, just so you.
So the voice message is it fake? It's not you. It's AI generated. I don't know. So now we move on to the cheater infidelity allegations. The one where she's a side piece. Who else has a side chick on this level? Gives them no stress. Told you I'm such a side chick. No way. No way.
What are you going to do about it? I'll suck it if you have an attitude, and I can do it today if I want to.
Go on.
And I can do it on your wedding day and your birthday.
Okay, well, we'll see.
After.
Okay.
I've been in situations where he's been with you in a social setting. He'll call me after.
And then I ask her specifically about the voice message where she talks about sucking dick very aggressively.
Screenshots and everything. We've actually traced it from Dubai police. They were able to give us the names. I worked with a particular person in 2021. I was in a relationship, but he was really, really into me. He used to always call me, always be like this. Like he was in a relationship as well. He was like a bit obsessed with me or whatever. But he wasn't in one relationship. He was in like 5, 6 different girls. He's a player like in Dubai, successful, those kind of people.
Why?
And one.
Okay, I don't like to be the guy that's sitting. Listen, okay, okay. You know, I don't like to attack appearance or actually that's not true at all. What am I talking about? It's me. It's me. Of course I like to attack appearance. Why does she look like a fish? Okay, and it's like the attack is not based on like her, biological innate looks. It's based on the clearly copious amounts of filler and Botox that she has had. Okay, why does anyone think this looks good? Why are people so fucking scared of aging that they would rather look like something I'd see in an aquarium than like... I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. I honestly do not get it. There's nothing that looks good about this. And you see all these types walking around LA with like fucking, the most unnatural lips you've ever seen. So much plastic in their face that like... I mean, they'd be considered like litter if they went swimming in the ocean. Who is telling people to do this?
Girl called me and she was just like, oh, by the way, are you talking to this person? And I was just like, what are you talking about? No, I do not talk to him. And who are you to call me and ask him? Like, the whole, no, I don't
understand when you get, no, I won't understand, because you had somebody like Simon Cowell sitting there making fun of Jeremy Clarkson, who had, aged naturally, looked his age. And Simon Cowell now looks like a melted candlestick, while Jeremy Clarkson looks appropriate and, in my opinion, good for his age. There's nothing wrong with looking your age. There's, like, nothing wrong with that.
Of this conversation. I only did it when I started digging.
So she doesn't have a memory of this conversation.
But let me tell you more about it.
Mind you, this happened in 2021.
And I said, I don't touch your man. And this is my nature, right? This is honestly my nature. If I wanted to, I could suck his on your wedding day. If I wanted to, I could have your man. He's called me when he's in social situations saying, oh, you're so boring without you, blah, blah, this, that, and the other. So I was saying, if I wanted to, I could do all of this. And
but just to be clear, in 2021, you didn't have a relationship with this person. You guys weren't.
A little fat, but how old is he? Like, yeah, I mean, he's gonna be like a bit chubby, sure. If he's how old? He's got to be in his 60s, right? He's not that fat. He's 65, okay? He's got like, I mean, he's a little bit of a belly at 65. That's fine.
Never had a relationship with this person.
Now, I had screenshots, but I needed to tie it to her. The screenshots I had a specific phone number on them. We didn't know who that phone number belonged to. The person who sent them in saying, oh, she was my fiance, she claims it belonged to Sadia, but we didn't have proof. So, watch this next part.
Also, just to confirm, I was given like 2 different numbers. I have one here. I don't know which one. It might be yours or maybe like the assistant. That says 9749. Is that wrong?
3719?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Do you see the way she said the last digits? Why is that important? That means she has the number in front of her. I didn't say the last numbers. She finished. How would you know that number?
How would you know?
That's a number you use often. She didn't say what number. She said 3.
Well, her excuse would then be, Oh, I'm actually just like a genius. Look at all my like degrees that I definitely didn't just Photoshop, and I just have a photographic memory.
4 different last numbers. That means she fucks that number a lot. That's the fucking number that was sending all them texts claiming to be side.
Good catch, good catch.
So you wasn't a side chick? Huh? You just DMing this nigga pictures of yourself?
No, she's just that much of a genius. She just like looked at the number once in between her curing cancer and like working for NASA to go to like the moon. And just like memorize the number that she briefly saw.
The con doesn't end.
But secondly, I was in a relationship. I was not with in his side chick.
I'm gonna show you all these nasty, raunchy screenshots that might turn you on, but will also make you disgusted. The best kind of erection. I'm gonna show you all these screenshots.
She just has the look of like what you would expect of like a female con artist to look like. There's like a look to like a male con artist, like kind of like, I don't know. It's like I'm wearing a cheap cheap suit. I got it. Obviously, this is like a stereotype. This is not what feel, but like I got a cheap suit. I've got like a pointy little mustache. My receding hair is like gelled back, like the used car salesman look.
Boy! Y'all can see how your favorite dating coach really be out here in these streets. God damn.
But yeah, we can have sex on Saturday.
Shut up, man.
Have fun. See you soon, gorgeous. You owe me dick, by the way.
Coming to give it to you. Wait there.
I'm waiting. But let's aim for not going back, though.
You never left.
No, babe. You never left.
Nah, I'm getting you pregnant.
Might as well.
Not looking after it, though.
What could go wrong, except everything?
So, one of the ways she denied being in this relationship is like, she's like, oh, well, I got married in 2022. I have my marriage certificate. My husband, he was never fiancé, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes, I'll say, we froze our embryos in her sperm in 2022, no. And I'm like, well, all this happened in 2021. So does that do this? And maybe the guy's not your husband. Maybe it was the guy before him. I don't know. Maybe you cheat on your husband. I don't know.
It's just throwing shit.
She's throwing random shit.
She you know, she's robbing thick. Blurred line.
Ooh, that's good. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. That's good. That's good. I like you. So these screenshots are not everywhere from my understanding. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. I have no idea what's going on there. And who's that from?
This was like, I guess, a screenshot from a video. So whoever sent this, I guess she was taking screenshots of sorts or taking pictures while she was like scrolling through.
Right. Okay. So it's got my team's number on there. Because that's the number that you can.
She says it's her team's number. No. So this number is not her. It's her team. The team that nobody knows exists. Nobody's ever seen them.
Dude, what?
No idea what's going on there. And who's that from?
She's robbing thick. Blurred line. It's just throwing shit.
She's throwing random shit.
She you know, she's robbing thick. Blurred line.
Ooh, that's good. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. That's good. That's good. I like you. So these screenshots are not everywhere from my understanding. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. I have no idea what's going on there. And who's that from?
This was like, I guess, a screenshot from a video. So whoever sent this, I guess she was taking screenshots of sorts or taking pictures while she was like scrolling through.
Right. Okay. So it's got my team's number on there. Because that's the number that you can.
Dude, so the number adds up. It's like, oh, that belongs to my. So a member of your team is like pretending to be you, sending that shit. A member of your team.
She says it's her team's number. No. So this number is not her. It's her team. The team that nobody knows exists. Nobody's ever seen them. It just sounds like it's her texting.
Okay. So it's got my team's number on there.
Dude, like the fake just. I gotta talk to one of the many members of my team about this. Hold on, I gotta go talk to her HR department. She like looks to like her like tiny little like dog in the corner.
She was fucked, bro. Oh, all my lies are useless now.
Play that shit again.
I made sure too. I did this at the end because this is where the energy in the whole thing changes. Shifts. Because she's telling people behind the scenes that she never texted this man, that these are all AI, but these pictures here prove that it's not AI. So this is like a team thing. So your team text people from this number?
They've got my group WhatsApp, and they put all my WhatsApp people that join my 3M, and the people that join that. Because that number is available, like if you join the WhatsApp, anyone can have that number. That number is available.
What do you mean it's available? I don't know. What does that mean?
As soon as you join the free calls or you sign up to be in the 3M program, they put you into a WhatsApp group, and that WhatsApp group has that number.
So what? Anybody in that WhatsApp group can text someone else?
Anybody in that WhatsApp group can have that number.
What?
So if you text that, what?
Every person that joined the 3M program, the 8K program, every single person in that joined a WhatsApp groups, different WhatsApp groups for which tier you're on, and because it's managed by that, they will be able to, trace. They will be able to get that number, but then it just doesn't look good on me because it's still linked to my team, and
She said depending on what team you're on.
Yes, because in her head.
Wait, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. The fiance of this man who's gonna marry her is accusing the lady we're looking at, the alleged fake psychologist, of cheating, and the fiance presents evidence of her text to the man with her number on top. Her excuse is, okay, well, that was texted by that number, but it's actually my team's number, and it could have been someone from the WhatsApp group chat because they know my team's number. Not understanding that actually merely knowing what someone's number is doesn't give you the sudden ability to text from it.
I'm on the team's talking about.
No.
I disagree. I think having researched how WhatsApp groups functions, I've done that, and long feeling trapped. The trying to fare better is I'm follow and fortuna down.
Oh, Sibitown.
Willie, I'm catching on to your thing, man. Okay, I'm catching on to your thing. It's okay to disagree with me, but you're very intentionally coming in here with the express purpose of one guying. and I'm trying to disincentivize that. So if you're coming in here with your genuine beliefs that happen to not align with mine, go ahead. But like, you're very obviously trying to one guy.
Missy Elliott is a bitch. This is her claim that everyone in the WhatsApp group gets access to this free number, and as a result, so, okay, maybe that's true. What does WhatsApp have to do with iMessage?
It probably won't go through, or it probably will go through, but like my phone's right here. If you were to message that number now, it won't ring or anything, but still, you know, who knows what will go on from there.
What?
So
what?
I know. Like this is her. You know, this is like all from the same number. Now her next
I
claim.
don't care if it's an occasional one guy. I honestly don't care. But if it's like everything you're saying is like clearly an attempt to one guy, and it's like gay and fake, then yeah, I'm gonna take issue with it.
When she comes back 5 minutes later, she returns to the topic. Is that I didn't even look like that in 2021.
So this is in 20. I'm just gonna get the dates up. I'm sorry, like, I'm just have to get the dates, and that's May 2020. So in 2021, these are terrible pictures, but you know, you get the idea that they're kind of different.
Those filter pictures? No, she did not.
So she's trying to claim it's not her. But I'm like, Lee, we already have you using body waste filters. It looks like when you said those pictures, yeah, you use filters, and you admitted to using filters.
They're kind of different to
the images.
God, I look so ugly in this. I just look so, she has like 18 filters on.
Listen, people, you know, even with that, I'm sure some people will probably still look at this and go, maybe they're filters, whatever it is.
Hold on, okay, you didn't look like that. So your team, on your behalf, from your number, is sending pictures that are not you. Fire your team.
Apparently,
your team is you.
Yeah.
So.
But you have more?
No, that's pretty much the last one. It's not. I have a lot more. I'm just not sharing everything. But now she's like, well, do you have more of those pictures that I've never seen?
Do you mind sharing again, like just so I can see what it is and just see what, you know, just because I'm guessing Goob is gonna, you know, do as much as he can, so I just need to, you know, get ahead of it.
I've got more. See you soon.
Oh yeah, so this is her, you know, her setting up meetups with the guy. So this is not just her sending angry messages to piss a lady off for insulting her. This is her setting up dates. Yeah. And then this is where everybody's like, I want to lick your vagina. She's like, stay awake, I'll be home soon. So she, you know, she's a side chick, very excited to be so.
In 2019, I left the UK and went.
If you're not even married yet and he's already having I hope like the status of fiance is what she was at the time, and she is no longer marrying this guy. Okay, I don't think cheating is always necessarily relationship ending, albeit it is detrimental to a relationship, and there needs to be like significant efforts to regain trust and an understanding as to why something like this happened and why it wouldn't happen again. But if you haven't even gotten into that commitment yet, and he's already cheating on you, please do not marry him. Don't marry. Like, what are you doing?
And became head of psychology.
Save yourself. Trust your gut instinct.
Schools in Dubai, they don't allow you in educational institutions without an education. Now, the other route people go down is say she's not DHA licensed. She's not DHA. She hasn't got a DHA license. The only reason I don't have a DHA license is because when I first qualified, I did. It expired. I didn't renew it because I was now online and I wasn't working in clinics. And in clinics, you need a DHA license.
I guess my question is, have you ever really had a DHA license in Dubai?
I started applying for it, but then my career took off.
Oh, she said.
Wait, huh? Okay. So to be you need a mandatory DHA license to be a healthcare provider, like she's claimed, like a psychologist in Dubai. Okay, her refutation is my license had expired. Or you can't use a license when it expires. The implication being she at one point did have a license. Now he doesn't just assume that implication. He actually does a good job at, because they'll use obfuscation and stuff, at actively specifying, okay, at one point did you have a license? To which the answer is, oh, I was trying to get it, meaning she didn't get it, right? So no, she has never been a licensed psychologist in Dubai.
A DHA license is because when I first qualified, I did. It expired. I didn't renew it because I was now online and I wasn't working in clinics. And in clinics, you need a DHA license.
I guess my question is, have you ever really had a DHA license in Dubai?
I started applying for it, but then my career took off.
Oh, she said that she expired.
Her eligibility expired.
Oh, okay.
But that's okay because it's still not good for her because she emailed somebody in 2023.
This is my DHA license. I need an official apology from yourself and
so she's lied about having a license.
Of your license.
So she used to claim that she had, but she just said she never got one. She started applying, but she didn't get it. Yeah. So she's been out here. And again,
which means she doesn't have. It doesn't matter if you started applying.
A running theme. You're going to see how her words conflict with her history. But let's keep watching. If you're a health practitioner in the Emirates, you have to have a DHA license. If you don't, it's illegal, and they can come after you. So she's definitely fraudulently claiming behind the scenes that she has a DHA license. But
so right now,
I checked the registry. She's not there at all. For the CBT.
The question is, does she even have a fucking bachelor's in psychology?
Because I remember seeing that certification. Wow, that one was from where exactly? Was from the Center. Okay, got it. So I know you got your BCS from University of London. Is there also a master's?
Center of Excellence. Yeah, my degree was from the University of Awesome Geniuses, awesome Giga Chad geniuses that were just like super fucking cool and qualified.
Yes.
Yeah, my actual I get my degree from Qualification University.
Well, I have a master's. I have a master's in education. And there's a University of London. Qualify as a QTS, and that means that you can become a teacher. And you can feel free to check it or anything like that. Hopefully, my name should come up.
Was your master's at UCL ever on your website, or is there any of it online? That's what I guess I'm asking. Okay, I need to pause it. You're gonna notice when I ask her a question, she's very as a con artist, she's very good. I ask her about her master's. She says yes, I have a master's.
So what they'll do is they'll avoid ways to you know, outright, when you state an outright falsehood, it's easier to get checked. Another great way to lead people to false conclusions is to obfuscate. Give them answers to questions they didn't ask, so they assume that the answer to their question has already been answered when in fact it's not, or frame things in a way that leads people to a dishonest conclusion. This is like indicative of habitual liars.
Masters, and I also have a QTS. QTS, I have a number, you can look that up, blah, blah, blah. So she's just firing. But I know you don't need a master's to get a QTS. QTS just means you're a qualified teacher. That's it. But here's the thing. If you're an educated person and you have a master's degree, which is your highest form of education for him, her specifically, you're going to start with that. I don't ask a nigga who's a doctor for the education and like, here's my high school diploma. No, you show me your PhD. I don't need to see your bachelor's. She never produced it. I asked her an email 4 or 5 times. She sent me every certificate. I asked her the UCL. She ignored it. So it's on her LinkedIn. She claims she has a UCL degree, a master's. Nowhere. This is important. You can't become a psychologist unless you reach a certain level of education. A master's is not necessarily enough depending on where you do master's. I already know she's not a psychologist because she doesn't meet the threshold to be able to even apply. Okay? That's one. Two, remember she mentioned that QTS thing. You see this email where it says this is my DHA license? This is the number that she had in that email about the DHA. QTS number again. Qualified teacher status. What the fuck does that have to do with DHA? No, it doesn't. You see how she does the same thing?
They'll give you answers to questions you didn't ask. And because they're expecting, or because the answer they give isn't technically a lie, right? So it's harder to check them on it. But they're doing so they don't actually have to provide a direct answer to your question.
About something specific, she uses a number from a completely different certificate. Yeah. That's the running thing. She's a pathological liar in that she will just crisscross all of her lies to avoid talking about what you want to talk about.
Was your master's at UCL ever on your website, or is there any of it online? That's what I guess I'm asking.
I put them up, I think, like for a week or two because I was getting so many trolls, but then it just got worse because they were just like, you're faking it, it's not real. And even though it's notarized, I even added the notarization.
I want you to imagine for a moment, okay? Let's do a little exercise. I want you to close your eyes just for a moment. You're on a trip abroad and you know a friend that gets you into some, you know, a more of an exclusive party. But, you know, there's a lot of strange figures there. You don't know who's who. You don't know what's going on. And you have a woman with a sophisticated sounding accent from a vague foreign nation come up to you. She could be from England, right? British accent, or, you know, I spent my days in Fiji, whatever. She comes up to you and she claims to be the descendant of nobility, and that her money is actually locked in a bank account that she can't get access to, and she needs your help by giving a donation that's going to enable her to get the money and pay you back, right, at this party. I want you to envision what that woman is going to look like in your mind. Is it something like this? Because that, I mean, come on, dude.
On there, but they just won't believe it. And even though I got my work experience to show that you need these things in order to be, you know, for that particular position, they won't believe it.
But for whatever reason, I guess people pulled this up and they were like zoning in on this, and they were claiming this is fake. And I'm like, I don't think that's the case. But I guess when you had this up, I guess it kind of saved the picture and these people kept it.
And I can get that everything for you. If you need anything notarized, I can put everything sent to you. I can also give you just a number that comes with it, and you can just double check the number.
Why fake being a psychologist anyway? To act like you have some like authority to speak on a given subject.
They, like I said, they're super, super dedicated. They will look for everything and anything. Can you see if there's any more? Because I think it was a story post, but I can't remember.
Ali Khan is getting permanently hidden from chat display. I can't do it. He's like, what can I put in chat that's going to make Aiden's community look the worst right now? And then decides to send. That's how his thought process works. That's how Ali Khan operates.
No, I think the first thing they did is they just flagged us, and they're like, this is photoshopped. And I think it might have been, so that's why I think some people...
Okay, no problem. I can send all the details for that as well if you need. And is this one as well?
No, I think it was this one. This is the one.
Okay, no problem. I can send that as well. If they need anything, this is for the advanced CBT. Okay, advanced CBT.
Yeah, I guess the question was like the British Psychological Society. I guess they didn't really have an association with the Center of Excellence.
What do you mean question mark? Just act like you... It's the biggest pet peeve when people don't know what I'm pretend like they have no clue what I'm talking about.
I asked her if they were ever on her website. I know they were on her website. I want to see if she's on it. She took them off a long time ago. What she didn't know is that there's something called the Wayback Machine. Everything on the internet lives forever. So I went through her website archives and I saw what it looked like a couple years ago. And I
don't know anything about ABBA and Preach, just to be clear. I knew that, which one is ABBA and which one is... This is ABBA, right? I know he knew Destiny. That's like all I know about these guys. I don't know what kind of content they make or anything.
What she had. Look at this shit, bro. This was on her website as proof that she's educated. So this is her Bachelor of Science. Here it is. This fake fucking Photoshop degree of a master's was on her...
Master of Science in Psychology of... Wait, what? Wait, excuse me? Huh? What are we doing, bro? What? That's her photo of that's the photo of her degree? No, look at where her name is supposed to be. Look at where her fucking name is supposed to be, dude.
Her website, my nigga. It has no date. When do you ever see a degree
And there's no date of award.
with no date of issue?
No date.
You see the name? That is a clearly photoshopped on top of this degree.
That is. But basically what happened was she probably took the pictures of that somewhere. And because she took it, it's kind of pixelated.
Yes.
And then she added her name on, which is a clear name.
Okay, you see Master of Science, Psychology of Education?
Yeah, that never happened.
Not only did it never happen, but I got something good for you.
Oh my God.
You said she took it from somewhere. She took it from here, nigga. This is it right there. It's the same doctor. It's the same everything. That's it. She stole this person's degree.
She's trying to lose the degree. Oh my God.
Anyone who has a degree will tell you they would never issue you that without a date.
No, without a date. That's crazy.
Again, remember, this was on her website as proof that she has that education. She sent me every degree, never sent me her master's. The reason why is she knows it looks bad if she tries to fake that shit too. Now,
psychology.com.
It was on her website.
Yeah, what is her answer gonna be? I actually do have it. I just couldn't. It was at my other house at the moment, and I needed to include proof of it. So I didn't think there would be any harm in creating an image representing a degree that I actually have. Because what's the difference if the image I present you is of something that looks like the degree and the degree itself if I actually have the degree?
Now we go to the next one. The devil's in the details. It all matters to the con. Okay, Center of Excellence is the one that she always brings up and she shows everyone the degrees or whatever. It's an online school sham. Not serious. You would never become a psychologist from going to this school for 1,000 years. It's one of those places where you go online, you say a bunch of things, and then they give you a piece of paper. That's it. And there's a lot of fake schools that exist online like that where you can just pay some money and you get a certificate, but it doesn't actually apply for any real world.
Yeah, diploma mills.
jobs. Ooh, so this one she thought she got rid of. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Do you see this Photoshop?
Again, it's the same thing. It's not the same fonts.
So the British Psychologist Society is actually real. It is accredited. It's a serious thing. If you have something that goes through them, that means that you're legit.
The certificate is likely real, as in from COE, but it's not a legitimate credential for psychology practice. The BPS logo is extremely misleading.
What she did was to give herself a more legit feel. She just fucking photoshopped these two together.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Oh
so that's
my
what
god, dude. So she gets a degree from like McDonald's University online. Like answering a questionnaire with all the answers posted on some website. Like probably uses ChatGPT when she's answering it. Gets her like fake degree from an unaccredited place from answering questions online, and then photoshops the logo of somewhere that is actually accredited on top of it.
Yeah, you can look it up. Center of Excellence and British, nothing to do with each other. Okay, now listen to her explanation again because I asked her about this.
Yeah, I guess the question was like,
it's like fucking Catch Me If You Can type shit. Apparently, by the way, well, obviously, like Hollywood makes certain things dramatic, but most of the things that were portrayed that like Frank Abagnale did in Catch Me If You Can with DiCaprio, apparently, like those things just never happened. And that actually, the movie's about how he's such a great con man, and the irony lies in the fact that he conned Hollywood into making a movie about cons he never actually pulled.
British Psychological Society, I guess they didn't really have an association with the Center of Excellence, and so they questioned how these things were like merged together.
When you are BPS accredited, what that simply means is that organization has put it through BPS and they've approved of it. I can send any details for that if that needs it.
She's saying the Center of Excellence, but they can't. The Center of Excellence is a place where they have stuff like herbology and like spirituality.
The logo placement at the top is misleading. The British Psychological Society is shown. The BPS does not recognise COE courses as valid qualifications for psychology practice.
They don't. I contacted them. They said we have nothing to do with the Center of Excellence. We've never had.
Me personally, I feel like as a Muslim woman who's got brown skin, the moment you come up in their world, just like Jay Shetty, the moment we come up and you're not looking like them, they automatically assume that you're not real. You'll see white content creators, white coaches, the Matthew Husleys, or the other kind of coaches.
Oh my god, dude. Are you serious? She thinks that's the problem? She obviously doesn't think that's the problem. She's now she's pulling the religion. Well, no. Okay, it is a race card. I know Muslim isn't a race, a religion, but it's a religion that is often associated with people who are of Arab. Even though majority of Muslims are not Arab, right? Majority of Muslims are. I might have that one wrong. I know like it isn't like the most Muslim country on earth, Indonesia. Regardless, she's making it about race when like you like. I'm sorry, like I wouldn't like. There's so much plastic surgery. There's no like ethnically discernible facial features on you that like you could like tell me that you were like of Greek heritage, and I'd believe it.
Well, nobody checks, cares what their background is. They just assume that they're perfect. But when you're of color, or particularly in my position, I felt like a woman, and as long as
like to be clear, I'm not saying that just because you're white passing, it doesn't mean that you also like can face like issues as a result of your heritage. That's not what I'm saying. But in the context she's invoking it, at the very least, you would expect that she's somebody who's like discernibly non-white, and on like a surface level, that just doesn't seem to be the case.
you're not super old, you're not white, you simply can't be qualified.
I definitely hear what you're saying earlier in regards to maybe other content creators, maybe those of a different complexion, not receiving the same kind of scrutiny. But from my knowledge, I think you're probably one of the only content creators in the space who I think is like considered a psychologist, at least at this degree and this level. And so I think because you have this added title, I think there's a little bit of extra added scrutiny because the title does carry some weight, right? A lot of these people are uneducated or don't have any kind of background that's officialized.
Yeah, like, is Matthew Hussey a doctor? Is he a psychologist? Does he lean on that too?
She doesn't look anything. She doesn't look like anything because she's had such a significant amount of work done that you could actually place her heritage in half of planet Earth. Like, I could believe she's from anywhere in Southern Europe. Someone said Mexico. I could believe she's from Mexico, somewhere, anywhere in South America. You know, like, you could literally, like, half of planet Earth, you could probably tell me she's from, and I'd believe you.
As a power of authority?
No, he's Matthew Hussey.
That's it. If you're a doctor and you're operating in the public space, it's perfectly acceptable for people to ask for your credits. That's a normal thing.
Whenever you just say certain things or your coach, it's just your opinion and your vision of things. When you say you're a psychologist, it's medical now.
Yeah.
Things that really happened that were viewed and reviewed and reflected. It's not just your opinion. It's not just, I've noticed that this and that, or I cracked the code. It's not like, it's not.
And just be clear, you don't need to be a licensed psychologist to talk about psychology, right? There are people who don't have qualifications on a subject, but have an adequate amount of knowledge to speak on the given topic they're talking about through their own research. And in those cases, those people can be scrutinized for the veracity of their claims, if they're like incorrect or correct. The qualifications just give you an authority to do something or perceived social authority when discussing a given subject. And obviously, claiming that she has those qualifications is to play into the perceived social authority she has when speaking on the subject, which is just a lie.
A roll of the dice. You're a doctor. There's an expertise attached to it.
She did this victim thing a lot. She's like, you know, I can't let these videos come out. You know, I have a husband. I'm having kids. You want to see my embryos? My
Do you want to see my embryo? Who the fuck starts a conversation like that?
That's a quote.
Just so you're clear, from 2022, we have our own embryos together.
That's a quote, nigga. That's a quote. She mentioned the fact that she had a dad and two brothers, and if they find out, you know, because she's Pakistani, they're going to kill her.
So it's just like, it's because of my father. If it wasn't for my father and he was Pakistani, strict, all of this, if anything gets back to him or my brothers, it's like...
It's a big problem.
There's no way, I can't live.
She did a lot of this, like, trying to garnish...
Wait. Hold on. Ironically enough, that is playing into stereotypes about her heritage. And you know that's not true, just to be clear. I highly doubt that the thing that's going to make them cut your head off is knowledge that your psychology, or that you're cheating. I guess that's possible, but she's not married, is she? Right? Wouldn't that be considered like as bad as like she's now using that for like the sympathy card that like my dad and brothers will chop my head off if this like damaging information got, which can be true in some cases. But like, if anything, she's trying to be manipulative and make people sympathetic to like maintaining her lies and like the shit that she did that was wrong. By like playing on given stereotypes about Muslims.
Sympathy, but you know, your boy, I don't care.
There's just scamming people, man.
So I know you got your BCS from University of London. Is there also a master's?
Yes, well, I have a master's. I have a master's in education. And what happens with your master in education, you qualify as a QTS, and that means that you can become a teacher.
I keep asking about her master's and keeps mentioning this QTS shit. And I'm like, show me your degree, bitch.
Master's degrees are just like vegan people. You don't need to ask. They'll tell you they have.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? That's the first thing they're gonna leave.
Yo, your master's, where your master's at? Oh, is that what it is? Yo, let me see. Okay.
By the way, if you guys want to support the stream, as always, you could like, sub, dono, Streamlabs Super Chat in the description. We're almost a quarter of the way to Streamly goal. Base stuff.
Oh, grab your master's.
Do you have your master's?
So, I have my QTS book here. The number is right there. Any other questions?
Yes, do you have your master's?
Absolutely. If you just look right here at my QTS.
Cool. What about your master's?
Okay. Say Say Do you want to know what she said at the end about the UCL?
What did she say?
Because after we were done the call, I'm like, listen, I'm not going to make another video if you just send me the UCL and your British Psychology Association certificate. I want to see that. Because those two pieces,
that's a big one.
Sadia said it's okay if we stick with the narrative that she's not qualified.
It's okay if we... Wait, is she pretending to be a member of her team? Okay, so now she's just like clearly pretending to be a member of her team. So it's okay if we stick to the narrative that she's not qualified and is fake. She's super nervous, anything. Wait, how will if you're being accused... This is such bullshit. This is literally what liars do when they get caught. Okay? There was like a woman, I think, I was watching a Dr. Phil episode where this woman was very obviously faking that she had cancer. And she had these medical records. And at first it was like, I'll send them to you when I get home, blah, blah. And then it became, I'm not going to send it to you guys because I know my truth. And I'm not going to give you the satisfaction. Boogie2988 did this. Boogie2988 did this. This is what they do when they're caught. They like turn the burden back. I know my truth. You're attacking my truth. I'm not going to give you the satisfaction. In her case, she's nervous. Anything. This like supposedly well-educated woman believes that in a dispute about whether or not she lied about her qualifications, verification of said qualifications would lead to further backlash. She has to be very careful. If she says the rumors are not true, she may get new... What is this logic? She just doesn't have the qualifications. She's been severely anxious because she just does not want to risk another goob... What is a goob video?
Fight it, it is fake. She's super nervous. Anything said will lead to more backlash. We're so sorry to do this. It's just that she has to be very, very careful. If she says the rumors are not true, she may get new rumors. So sorry for this. So...
She was on the... Huh?
Certificate copy of entry of marriage. She sent me that.
No, send me your UCL.
No, I have my citizenship papers. Would you like to see those?
No, I want to see the UCL.
I have a Costco card.
I want to see your master's.
I don't have a master. I've never had one. We're free. We love being free.
I actually have a Chuck E. Cheese membership ID that has been expired since 2008.
And mind you, she told me so many times that she's going to get it for me.
And I can get that everything for you. If you need anything notarized, I can put everything sent to you, and I can get all of that sent to you with the numbers associated with it. I can get all that sent to you as well. Feel free afterwards, if you just need to double check, please let me know. I've got no problem. Please feel free. If you just want to fact check it, no problem at all.
And people have really pointed to that as like behavior that may not be okay for a therapist per se. You necessarily going back and forth. And I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Now, to give you context, the kind of stuff that she says to people, I will let you see.
Oh, yes, please do. I have an idea, but
No, you
Dude,
don't.
this is how did nobody link this in my topic suggestions?
I did a story on her the other day because she edits her videos and I thought it was very funny. I criticized her in the video because it was very obvious that she puts waist filters on any video where her full body is shown, and in a lot of her videos she's talking about how much self-confidence she has. But when I call her out, she lost her goddamn mind. Now been about 48 hours, and she has spent the last 2 days accusing my followers of being animal addicts, being cheaters, being prostitutes, and everything in between. But today she started a new trend. These are videos that my followers sent me. This person left a comment on her page, and she tried to call them via audio 4 or 5 times. And then when they wouldn't pick up, she left the threatening message that you'll see scroll by here: pick up, or I'm gonna post your address online.
This was her team too.
And here's another one from another one of my following.
This
pick
was
up.
also her team.
Pick up, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Pick up, calling over and over and over and over again.
Photoshop a bit better, Karen. We can see the curves in the wall. Not everyone is raised to be a sleuth. Shut up. My content isn't for hoes. Get off my page. Kind regards. I asked her, is this kind of behavior becoming of a therapist?
I would just say that in general, just because...
Yeah, I'm actually a paranoid schizophrenic with one of the worst cases several hospitals have ever seen, and I'm being treated now by a new professional, Sadia Khan. Dude, this is my psychologist. I'm cooked.
If somebody's a surgeon, doesn't mean that outside of their work they have to cut people's bodies open.
My girl. I can tell you this much. If a surgeon acts like you act, insulting people and harassing people online, the job might have some questions for you. Oh yeah, you could definitely use your license for that.
I agree. I do agree that it's not great conduct, and I got a really bad temper on me. So, and which is something I definitely have learned my lesson not to bother doing. But I just see it as like, if you're not my client, why do you get my service? My service is a therapist. You're not paying for the service.
Right, but to my understanding as a psychologist, there's...
Yeah, but why would you, with your knowledge of how like bodily insecurity, how badly it affects women, etc., and it's your job. Like, I would assume if you're a licensed psychologist, you're going to be facing a lot of cases of people that deal with that issue, bodily insecurity, and you would be working to help them overcome that and teach them self-confidence. Why would you then publicly be saying, actually, yes, your appearance does matter and you suck as a result of it? It would completely, and you're saying so publicly, and it would completely contradict any like affirming tactic or piece of information you'd provide to a patient or a client facing such a situation in your own private practice.
Code of conduct. So even if you're off the job, there's probably certain behaviors that they would say is unbecoming of people in that profession. And then that's like based off of like the job that you're trying to engage in. There shouldn't be things that you would engage in. If someone is a psychologist or any hold these fields, and if they're behaving a certain way online, that would be something that would cause losing their license. You're not a bus driver,
I do. Overall, I completely agree. There's no point in me defending it because I completely agree. It's something I've been told for years. But I have this, and this is 100% my nature. You can ask my husband who's right here. I can't, and because I've been bullied so much my whole life.
Again, always a victim. And she says she has an anger problem and what else stuff. Like, man, you're a therapist. You can't afford
all the connects, all the contacts to do something about that, my girl.
And I'll have you know, after this call was done, she went right back to shitting on people.
Exactly what you imagine a porn addict to look like. Please search his computer. Just make sure you renew your passport. Escorts need dirty old men like yourself to survive in this economy.
I wasn't doing psychology 100%. I would be a drug dealer. There is no other job role on this planet that suits my personality more because I am so fearless. I have a very poor work ethic. I am unprofessional, and I don't respect the law.
Yes.
Yes, we know.
Yes.
Come out the closet.
Hey, the first thing you said that was actually honest. Congratulations.
Hey, do it. That's it. Set it free. I lied about being a therapist. I lied about being a psychologist. I lied about having licenses. I lied and I was tricking. Just say it.
Law schmore, it's fine. We'll get away with it. It's not a problem. So I just got super lucky that all praise be to God, I'm my girl, and I didn't come from that kind of background or whatever it is.
Unironically, to the level of grifting and fakeness she's on, admit you lied about everything, admit you were a fraud, and then start like offering courses to people on how to con their way into anything. A lot of people would pay for that. That could be your new grift, and it wouldn't even be a grift. How how to deceive, how to manipulate, how to con your, how to become a con artist.
But in another life, 100% I would be in rehab or jail by now.
I seem okay, but deep down, I just want to marry for money and never go back to work.
Damn. All right, so this is the gist of it.
Oh, my girl.
I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking. I think a lot of the receipts speak for themselves. The girl's a liar. She's a pathological liar. You know, had she shown me a lot of proof that made me really question stuff, I would not have put out this video.
Where's her master's degree? She would have answered to that, and that would have been fine.
Why did you have a Photoshop master's degree that belonged to someone else on your website? Why do you have a Photoshop certificate from the British Psychological Association? We want to know. Everyone wants to know why you're lying. Why are you lying about this whole side chick stuff? Like, hey, listen, I had a dark past. It is what it is.
It'd be better if you own it, actually.
Come on. You know, she does a lot of corporate gigs. She does a lot of public speaking. So for them, her actually lying about this and being a complete fraud in regards to her education is actually a big deal. Hush money. But maybe you should have. You know, the worst part too is she could have entered this space and not done any lying. Yeah. Most of the people in this space don't rely on.
You were able to speak on the subject she was seemingly speaking on without actually having like the like you could do research and what the qualifications do is they once again give you the perception. People will perceive you with more authority, and they might scrutinize your claims less. But if your claims hold up on their own, right? With their, if your argument is sound, valid, like, and your claims hold up, and arguments hold up, on their own, the qualification isn't going to matter, right? That will just give you an ability to do certain things, and the perception of authority. So you absolutely could have still made it, in this fucking grift she was doing online without actually lying about said qualification.
Actually incredibly charismatic.
Exactly.
Like when she was speaking to me, I was like, oh, I can see how she be charming motherfuckers. It's very difficult to lie for this long. I did my thing?
You do your thing. No. I'm Ja.
Viking stop.
Yeah. No, you did your motherfucking thing. I gotta admit.
And you know what? You don't believe me? If you're in the UK and you're an employer, you guys can go check whether or not she's got these degrees. Y'all can find this information yourselves. You guys can contact UCL. Y'all can contact these places. I'll be willing. Ask this.
Apparently, okay, I was very tired yesterday. I didn't know what else to do. I was like going on my little villain arc. So I did this joking where I was like, is this what I have to do to get viewership? You know, there was poking at an underlying point. I think the fucking EHD coverage on Nick's end is like completely soulless. Do I think my content's better? Of course I think my content's better. I just think his content is better in the sake of garnering further viewership. But the underlying core of it all is a critique of the people that watch that kind of content, a critique of its soulless nature, etc. But apparently, instead of just like laughing about it, it got posted on clip. Bro is literally seething while imitating Nick. The Wiggler was Keffels, then Queeman did it, then Nick. Fourth tier copying. True. Not even one mention of pinball machines. True. We just know Nick is gonna die laughing. It's like in the sense he finds it funny, or in the sense of this is ridiculous, and then like the fake cope laugh. He said, "I don't need Ethan for views," but wait, you understand that that's me mocking? That's me mocking Diorio's cope. That's me mocking Diorio's cope. Did Nick fuck this guy's girlfriend or something? Basically, Nick stopped talking to Aiden after one of Aiden's Spurg friends leaked their Discord DMs. This friend is infamous for leaking others' DMs, by the way. He's not, just to be clear. Like, his, like, prior leaking of any DMs, which I can't even cite a specific example, was not, like, beyond the extent of any other, like, individual in this community, to be clear. And even if he had leaked DMs from, like, what people voluntarily chose to send him, there was actually absolutely nothing that would indicate he'd, like, look through someone's computer. Okay? I admit I should have locked it every second, instead of just doing it sometimes and not others. But to act like there was some obvious predictor of this is like completely absurd. It's completely false. They can't point to anything that would create an obvious predictor of this. And it was an understandable mistake. One that occurred under such specific circumstances that it's totally reasonable to assume that it just like wouldn't really happen again. Right? This is, by the way, in opposition to, you know, people like Tommy who leaked way more than anything that got revealed due to my brief mistake, and did so intentionally, knowingly, and even remarked, "Is this private?" Meaning he had suspicion to believe it wasn't even public before he leaked that Nick was complaining about Quimmen's association with Salvo. okay? But he gets infinite passes, which is why I believe that the contention was not with that incident. The contention was with my mere association with certain individuals. And if that was the problem, it should have been stated outright, which Nick had reassured me at one point. Don't worry, if I ever have an issue with you, I'll talk to you about it. I have nothing against Aiden, but this is most then you have zero threshold for retardation. I 150. It's not about like I just like obviously like believed that I was like fucked over and all this like by you know, the presentation of like, yeah, dude, you're my good friend. I ever talked to you, something happened, to like completely bridge burning over a very simple mistake, and then kind of makes me feel like his valuation of my friendship with him was exaggerated to me in private, and I was being used to be some sort of diplomat between this side of commentary and his side, because behind the scenes he would give me arguments in his own defense that I would sometimes, not like he outright asked me, reiterate on stream, but there was one instance he did outright tell me to mention something on stream in his defense. I don't know if I actually ultimately did. So I feel like I was there because I was merely useful temporarily to his relations, the community that he supposedly doesn't care about. And then when that no longer was occurring, due to his issue with my associations, he found like the quickest excuse for a bridge burn. And it's like, if that's, just be honest with me about it. You know what I mean? I mean, this is 100% accurate. Downvoted to shit. We also got this. I am in such a weird predicament. My now ex introduced me to SFTP and I really got consumed in Tommy's content. I've really enjoyed watching to keep up on the drama since my ex is a huge drama community fiend, but now we're no longer together. I don't know if I should leave her and just try to find something else as to not put her off watching the content she loves by making odd comments and live chats during streams, or just continue hanging out here and just try to coexist. I love that girl, but I'll hold my hands up and say I kind of fucked up the relationship in a communication breakdown sort of way. Anyone care to give it 2 cents? Soul Skibbity with our first dono of the hour, $2 with a pair. Thank you so much to my best friend, Soul Skibbity, putting us a quarter of the way to Streamly Gold. Very based. Very based. No, it's going to be a short stream tonight anyway, so that will be my cope. Because we just don't have a lot of content after this. E-dating is so evil. I mean, it depends. If you like meet someone online and then you're able to pursue it in person, that's like a bit different than e-dating, because the internet does give you like the option to like meet people that have your general social interests in a way that like nowhere else seemingly does. So it'd make a lot of sense for you to be able to find someone you really click with online, as opposed to just through random exchange or being a coworker through an in-person activity. And then if you go and choose to pursue that in real life, it does make sense. But if you're unified over the mutual interest of watching Tommy C, it might be fucking over. What else is there? I also got some, there were like very, like, if like you didn't like my Nick impression or you like Nick, just like laugh and move on. You know what I mean? It didn't really seem like that big of a deal. Streamer Aiden Underground. Okay, good one. I love the clipping, guys. Thank you, Zach Prince, and thank you, fucking Jimmy. Much appreciated, guys. But, we got this one right here, but, like, some of the replies are just fucking coping. Hold on. Okay, good one, McMad. Aiden is gay. He sounds like when Aiden still had a soul, making... What is the... Holy cope! Holy cope! What era is he referring to? What era of content is he referring to where I had a soul? I will have you know, sir, that there has never been an era where I had a soul doing this. I will have you know, sir. You know, Aiden, you can copy the Wiggler, the voice patterns, but you will never be able to copy the chat movement and the donations. You're just a punching bag in every community you join, no matter how much they tell you you're an intellectual. Have fun with your 50 viewers. And this guy, who I've never seen before, I guess also blocked me? First of all, what community is telling me I'm an intellectual? My chat insults me every single day. Where are you looking? For you to think that I'm being called an intellectual in other places is kind of a tell that you must think I'm some sort of intellectual, which is laughably ridiculous. But also, I agree my viewership is low. I agree I'm a small streamer. I don't kid myself, but I agree there's also potential here, and I want to capitalize on it. I'm trying to do a better job. But for those of you, I have employed an editor now. They've asked to remain anonymous. It is one of you, so you can't attest to this because you're being anonymous about it. But I've got stuff in the works. But you also can help by clipping. Clipping like fuck helps us grow. Also, why would I be jealous of like Nick specifically? I know like tons of huge content creators. I'm not like mocking any of them. 5 from Jinro, thank you so much. Holy fuck, Spencer with the 5. Your impression Nick was pure I wasn't even thinking about it. It was like completely improvised. I mean, yeah, like I'm having fun, or sometimes I'm having fun. I'm not having a lot of fun right now, but it depends on the stream. But I have a lot of streams, or I have a lot of fun, and there's benefits to it, right? I get a Minecraft server that people are active in. I have fun on there, that kind of stuff, and I'm making money that would be appropriate for like a fucking college job. So, would I love to be some super big streamer? Sure, that would be great. That would be great to have everything figured out for me. By the time I'm 20, like, no shit, that would be great, but I am satisfied with what I have, although that doesn't necessarily negate any hopes or ambitiousness that I, would want, or that I have. Yeah, I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate your attempts to see my ambitions come to life. I love criticism as well for things that you might think might help me grow a little bit. And yeah, I mean, really, with how small my community is, I've always appreciated how dedicated they are. Whether that is dedication to making my life hell or doing good stuff, because there's a lot of good stuff. What am I fucking looking for here? Yeah, congrats, Scallywag, on the position. He's a little shy, he just didn't want to admit it. Congrats, buddy. So if anything ever goes wrong with any of my content, we can blame Scallywag and Scallywag personally. Those are the marching orders. What else is there to cover? There's nothing happening. I don't want to end live now. I don't. I really don't. But it's like, what the fuck is going on, dude? It's like more Nux. I know that's what Chronic loves. I said I might cover it, but it seems like shit or non-tent. Apparently, Chronic accused somebody of being a pet, or not. Apparently, Nux accused somebody of being a pedophile, and Chronic was tweeting about it.
Are at war. Right, so this is Nyara, someone that likes grooming children, as far as I understand it. Are at war. Right, so this is Nyara. When he asked me about Tyga, I said, I don't know the full story, but apparently he's a pedo. I was wildly irresponsible making a claim like that, as there was not sufficient evidence for that shit. The DMs that were leaked were not of that shit.
Okay, so he's accusing this person of being a groomer. Now, what he'll do is the cope of whether or not he's talking about, because grooming is one of those things where, like, yes, we all typically use it in the context of referring to preparing minors for inappropriate relations exchanges with adults, but you know, they're also, grooming can be used in non-sexual contexts as well. My understanding is the rationale behind it is that this Naira person is okay with the usage of puberty blockers for minors. Now I know that sounds crazy, but I can understand. I don't know to make a solid prescription on that. I don't know enough about it. But I used to believe that it was okay because puberty blockers had completely reversible effects or whatever. Apparently that's now disputed. I'd have to look into that. But if you're like under the belief that there's no permanent, like irreparable change being made to like their body, then like you could justify that like 16-year-old, 17-year-old, whatever, or obviously you wouldn't be taking a puberty blocker at 16 or 17. You could probably like be argued into that position without being like a bad person. In general, though, irreparable changes to the bodies of minors that are not of, you know, medical necessity, or immediate medical necessity, or something that cannot wait until they're an adult, like something that, like for example, a vaccination. Sure, you could argue a flu vaccination is not a medical necessity, but its efficacy is not something where you would be able to just wait until they're an adult to do it because they're still at risk of the flu as a kid. Now you can argue that, you know, trans minors or whatever are still at risk of mortality as a result of their gender dysphoria while they're kids, but I'd have to look into what the percentage is in, like, I don't know, a 5-year span, like the general age of suicide amongst transgender individuals, etc., to even like make a solid determination. But in general, yeah, when they're 18, that's when like things that are not of things that can wait until adulthood, even though it might be inherently unpleasant, I think from like a rule utilitarian perspective, this is something we need to uphold, right? I think in general you should wait until the age of 18. With that being said, I agree that detransitioners are like such a marginal amount of people that I guess undergo transition or whatever. But still, the general principle that would lead to somebody arguing, like the general principle of what I just gave, you know, things that can still maintain the same medical efficacy if done in adulthood, that are, you know, not of immediate medical necessity or immediately in the interests of, you know, long-term welfare. We should not be doing stuff like that would be irreversible to minors, right? I try not to argue trans shit though, because I just don't know nearly enough about it. But yeah, it's like a take that would get me fucked on both sides, because, you know, on one hand it would be like, oh, so you think you're okay with like trans youth like taking their own life? No, obviously not. But I think from a rule utilitarian perspective, upholding that general principle will ultimately lead to a net reduction in harm by making people wait until adulthood for gender affirming care. What about a Cheeto A-logging? I guess I could do that. Soul Skibbity, what's up, buddy? $2 from Spencer. I support Nux Taku A-logging. Did you check out Brat Winner? What is Brat Winner? What the fuck is this? Why did you link me this? my hair. So true. So true. So fucking true. Oh my god.
Tone deaf and hot, let's fucking off her. Did you make a joke only a man could? Were you just too smug for your own good? But once
He's talking or she talking about Brad Taste? Two things can be true. From perspective of what Brad Taste has actually done, yeah, it's probably fair to consider him a domestic abuser. But in like actual like implications of somebody's personality, Rose Malay's personality is far worse than Brad's. In terms of the calculated, methodical nature in which Rose Malay uses people. Like, Rose Malay will suck this guy, literally suck this guy dry, pretending to be his advocate on his side when she can benefit, and then when it's more beneficial to embarrass him and use him like fucking trash. She'll then go and take whatever, when he's been sucked dry and there's nothing left to gain out of him, she'll then go to the side that, you know, she'll drain popularity by going after him more. She is a parasite. She's 150% a human parasite in how she functions. What am I saying? What about that didn't make sense to you? Rose Malay pretended to be Brad Tay's friend and on his side and his utmost, you know, loyalist, somebody that was a shoulder to cry on, in this case, a 300-pound body to cry on, when Brad Tace was at his most vulnerable, and there was fame to be garnered from being in that position, and when that fame was no longer possible to garner, being in that position, and it was more beneficial to take the position of the opposition, Rose then went and shifted to that position and did so manipulatively. What don't you understand about that? We are ready for Brat Winner. What did Soul Skibbity send me? Oh my, dude, what is Kinetic Celt? She tried to kiss some guy on stream and he pulled away. What is this? Okay, actually, I should... Did you just send me an IP grabber? Got it. Cool. Sick. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Spencer. Rosemary is the morphology of a paralysis tick. True. Spencer, hold on, wait, hold on. One sec. Did I just get sent like an, dude. I'm cooked right now. I'm absolutely cooked. But it's a good thing that I had ExpressVPN. It's a good thing that I had ExpressVPN installed when I was sent this, because now when this person goes to my house to track me down due to the schizophrenic parasocial relationship they've been forming with me over the span of months, instead of finding me, they'll be finding the home of a 40-year-old man living in Bangalore, India. Zach and Jimmy, by the way, the clipping, keep that shit up, okay? It's how we grow in the long run. Are you getting paid? No, I'm not being paid. Hold on, what else is there to talk about, bro? Black Pillar goes on a red pill disc. Okay, it's like some fucking hour-long shitter live stream. Fuck, dude. Nothing ever happens. Nothing ever fucking happens, bro. Nothing is happening. What is this? Why was I linked to this?
Right, so before we get into today's video, I do have a couple of things
I used to know this guy. Marky, very long time ago. I used to know this guy.
Right, so before we get into today's video, I do have a couple of things to mention. The first thing being, you might have noticed that the background has kind of changed. I did mention this a couple of videos ago, but basically...
he likes the WWE. This guy sucks. Hey guys, I'm a WWE fan. I only have 5 domestic violence convictions instead of the average 6.
I'm changing up my office. It's going through a bit...
It's fake. It's fake, sorry, it's not fake, but if it was fake, that's okay because it's like it's like performance art, okay? It's like performance art. They're acting, and it's a performance.
Of a journey right now. The only change you can see from this angle is the fact that I've got some like shelves and chest of drawers down there, although they look like very dark on here. Like they're not lit at all. They're not actually that dark. And you might also notice they're very bare at the minute. There's like barely anything on it because again, there's a bit of a journey going on here. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out before someone questions why I've like put 4 things on the shelves. Okay, I'm working on it. And also, if you are interested,
Toki's coping. So Toki, everyone else who's a fan of the WWE wants you deported.
And how this all looks, because it's not just these 2 things that have changed. That's just what you can see from this angle. But we are actually doing a video on our other channel, you know, Emily and I's channel that's linked in the description. We're doing a bit of like an office transformation type video called
I'd watch that.
Glamarama, who's a TikToker with 14,500 followers. And as you can also see, pretty much all the videos are gone. The only one that is left is this kind of like apology.
I've already looked at the baby fur shit, and I honestly, I'm still trying to like remove the thought of the existence of an account like that from my mind.
Statement that we'll get to. But
yo, 2 from Spencer. Does this guy have a TBI? I don't think so.
From what I understand, she posted a bunch.
He's talking normally. He just sounds like somebody from the north of England.
Of food reviews, like restaurant reviews. Now, another account they need to be aware of here is JL Patisserie. It's a pastry shop. They sell pastries, and as you can see, they've actually got quite a big following on TikTok, about 300,000 followers. I'm not sure how many they had before this situation, because as you'll also see, their response to this whole situation is currently on basically 50 million views. But it didn't start with that video. We actually have to start with a video uploaded by Glamarama doing a review.
It is like so cool to just not know what's happening on TikTok. I proudly, I don't think TikTok has been on my phone or viewed by me at all in like what? It's got to be like 1.5 years, 2 years at this point. I wear that with pride.
You going to JL Patisserie.
People, I do not mind spending $10 on a pastry if they are really good, but you cannot use fake ass ingredients. That pistachio color is about as natural as my boobs, ass, and waistline.
Okay, so
it needs to go. Instagram Reels is where it's. Ali Khan is literally the guy in the comments of every Instagram Reel. I don't watch Reels anymore either. It's like I got rid of TikTok because I didn't like short form content. Then it's on YouTube. Then it's on then it's on Instagram. Then it's on. I mean, what am I doing? I was like genuinely thinking about like just like getting like an Android or a Samsung or some shit just so I could remove shorts from YouTube.
See, it's a bit of a negative review. Straight away called out the fact that they use these fake ass ingredients. Now, JL Patisserie does have a direct response to that later on, as well as a response to a lot of things mentioned in this video. But the review carries on. She says things like the coffee was sour, says it's expensive, says that she was disappointed in the quiche.
Coffee was super sour and acidic, but I prefer a creamy chocolatey espresso. $5 for a canelli. I didn't even pay that in Santro fucking pay.
What?
Coffee was super sour and acidic, but I prefer a creamy chocolatey espresso. $5 for a canelli. I didn't even pay that in Santro fucking pay, but that's the price next to the Phoenix airport. Okay. I was also super disappointed in the quiche. I prefer a quiche with a thick, rich, buttery crust. This had a paper thin crust. If I wanted to ingest this much eggs, I would have eaten an omelet. I absolutely loved the pumpkin pie croissant, but everything was a little on the sweet and rich side, which some people love. Personally, I like my sweets a little less sweet, so I'd rather get treated like shit and go to Paris baguette. Now, with all of that being said, I think if you stay away from the expensive ingredients like these nuts, you can definitely enjoy delicious, rich pastry here.
Okay, so she did end it by
sounds like a nightmare to serve.
saying some nice things, right? The pumpkin pie croissant she really liked, as well as some negative things thrown in there. Now, like mentioned earlier, this video has been removed, so we are actually watching a re-upload here from an account called She Stay Snagging, but also another account from Jennifer Nguyen. I'm so sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but she actually uploaded a video where you can see the caption on the original video. So let's see what it said. Please help me find a better pastry shop. The pistachio cruffin and the pistachio chocolate croissant both had super fake pistachio flavour, like the one from Baskin Robbins. That is an immediate no for me. Although they tried to trick me with having some real pistachios in it, it was very obvious. I froze a pumpkin croissant and ate it the next day, and it was still super crispy and delicious. So yeah, I mean, looking at the caption of the video, it definitely does feel like even more of a negative review. Other than like the last couple of lines, but saying things like, oh, they tried tricking me by putting these real pistachios in it.
That is a big claim. That is a big claim, right? Because it goes from a critique of personal preference to, no, this restaurant is this eatery is actively deceiving you and attempting to con its customers through like explicit efforts of using some real pistachios to hide the fake pistachios or whatever. And it's like that's a pretty big claim. That's like beyond preference. It's more of an attack on the honesty of the people running the place. Where a lot of the critiques were merely, I like my things a little more sweet. I prefer quiche this way. That's like more of a claim that's going to be rooted in some objectivity, or to verify it, it's a claim it's an objective claim.
But I know for a fact that they actually use these fake pistachios and they try fooling everybody. I mean, it's not exactly something you'd want people to say about your pastries, is it? Now, what makes this interesting is when JL Patisserie actually uploads a response video to this.
It's a bit more than somebody not liking their food. It's somebody making a claim that they're doing something deceptive with it.
Review. We find out some details that definitely seem to change a lot of people's opinions on this review. The main one being is that Glamorama actually reached out to JL Patisserie and asked to do a collab, to which JL Patisserie actually declined.
So we recently had an influencer reach out to us and asked to do a collaboration, and we respectfully declined because it was not in our budget right now. Then she essentially tried to blackmail us by saying if we offered the food for free, she would then write a good review about us. I told her we'd think about it, but
wait, are you serious?
Then she essentially tried to blackmail us.
When it's a collab, I will still do the honest review and highlight / focus on what I enjoyed and softer / quicker on my words with what I may not, and be softer on my words that I may not like, or with my words with what I may not like as much. If the experience is terrible, I won't post anything for the kindness or the hospitality. The meal will need to be comped, including the gratuity. Dude, are you serious? This is so fucking shameless. Are you serious? Give me free food, or give me free food, and you giving it to me for free will influence my criticism of said food when you're posing yourself as a critic. Nobody's ever going to trust. Like, if your entire standing on social media is a criticism based on the way things actually are, so other people can be advised on where to and where not to go. If your criticism is actually based on whether or not the restaurant is giving stuff to you for free, nobody's going to be able to trust any criticism you've ever gave or will give.
By saying if we offered the food for free, she would then write a good review about us. I told her we'd think about it, but she still came in the next day. And although we hadn't agreed to collab with her, we recognized her when she came in, and we still were very accommodating and offered her extra drinks.
Okay, so we have some messages to look through here. So the first one's from Glamorama, and it says, hello, many friends have highly recommended your pastries. They look amazing. I saw the pumpkin one on TikTok. I was hoping to come do a reel Saturday or Sunday. Would you be interested in a collab? Thank you. Now, straight away, this obviously seems very similar to a situation we spoke about quite recently with a cafe and an influencer asking to do a collab, and then when the place declined, it resulted in a negative review. But the most interesting part to me here is actually this next message that says, when it's a collab, I will still do the honest review and highlight / focus on what I enjoyed and be softer / quicker on my words with what I may not like.
When it's a collab, I'll still do, okay, this could be taken two ways, okay? In good faith, in good faith, you could say, despite collabing with me, I'll still be honest and I won't lie. Or it could be taken as, I'm not going to be honest if you don't collab. I think the former is what she's attempting to convey here. But even then, right, the fact that how hard or soft you're going to be in your criticism is going to be influenced by hospitality you're shown, completely, like, revokes your claim to being a critic of anything.
As much. If the experience is terrible, I won't post anything for the kindness of the hospitality. The meal will need to be comped, including the gratuity. And this is why I've said in a few videos now that if you're a food reviewer and like maybe you go to these pastry shops, cafes, restaurants, whatever it is, I don't feel like there should be a collab. Because even if there isn't a plan in place where,
if it's going to influence your actual criticism or review, yeah, there's now like some conflict of interest and people are watching you to know where and where not to go. And if the conflict of interest exists, then you simply cannot be trusted to be the person making recommendations.
give me the free food, I will do a positive review, it still feels like it's not authentic, right? Because if you've been given the food, drinks, whatever it is for free, you're definitely going to be more inclined to say more positive things. I mean, I don't do food reviews, right? So what the fuck do I know? But I do feel like if you do food reviews, you should probably pay for the food the same like everybody else would, and then you'd be able to give a much more honest review, because that's really the only way that you're going to know, like, okay, was this worth the money? Because you actually had to pay money for it. But going a step further here, as we can see in this message, the way that Glamorama seems to do these collabs is that if it is a collab and she gets the food for free, then she'll kind of quickly go past anything that she doesn't like, and if she really doesn't like the food, she just won't upload it. Now, is this class as blackmailing, like JL Patisserie went on to say? I'm not sure, but it definitely does look a little bit odd if you.
It's not okay. It could be taken that way. I think that's more of an extreme claim that I don't think is as substantiated. But what it does indicate is there are like implied threats in it. I think there are threats that are implied. But it indicates like a level of dishonesty and mooching that I think just makes this person look pathetic. As a reviewer, as a content creator, I think blackmail's pretty extreme.
Reached out to do a collab, said that if we do a collab and I don't like it, I won't post anything, I'll blow past some of the information. And then when a collab gets declined, you then upload what is mainly a negative review. It does seem a little bit odd. Now, at this point, JL Patisserie does go on to directly respond to some of the claims made in the video.
So we totally respect a bad review, but what we don't like is lying and bullying. The first thing she said was that our pistachio was so thick. Fun fact.
Yeah, you merely not liking the food and saying, I don't like it because it doesn't align with my preferences, or I don't like the way it tastes, is different than a critique about knowing deception on the part of the owner and the actual ingredients in and of themselves.
We have right here our pistachio paste that is 100% pistachios from Italy. All of our flours that we use in our product, the farine de blé, épeautre, gruyère rouge, all comes on a pallet from Europe. And also, this is our panettone flour, straight from Italy. It's written entirely in Italian. Not bad for close to the airport bakery.
And then after explaining the ingredients that they use in their pastries, JL Patisserie also goes on to mention how everything is handmade.
Beyond the fact that we spend 10 times the amount of money to buy the ingredients, the most valuable part of our product is the time we spend to make them. From our sourdough starter to our dough, every single thing is handmade from scratch.
To make this, we spent 6 months. You have to learn it, how to feed it, know how to work with it.
And it only likes the flour from Italy. And this isn't just about...
What country is this in? Is this France?
Me. This specific influencer has gone to many different local restaurants and bullied.
They're based in France, right?
The problem is if the next generation is influenced by her to believe it's okay to bully and disrespect.
Wait, she's done this before? Restaurants hate to see me coming. Because you're gonna ask for free food or just like lie?
And bully them. The problem is if the next generation is influenced by her to believe it's okay to bully and disrespect the food industry.
Okay, so as you heard, there's some claims here that Glamorama has done this to other places and previously, and actually show this Instagram caption that has a name blocked out and says, restaurants hate to see me coming. Now, I'm not sure how entirely true that is, right? If there has been many other places that have been asked to do a collab, and then when they've declined, it's resulted in a negative review. Obviously, if that is a reoccurring thing,
But it's isn't just
customers
bribing us for free stuff is not really something we support.
Is there actually somewhere where I could watch? Hold on. Has someone done like a compilation of the original back and forth? No. Okay, so I guess we'll watch secondhand.
My biggest pride in what I've built here isn't just how I source my ingredients, but it's having found the people to be my team that wake up every day and that care about what we do, our processes, and that work really, really hard to do this. And most of all, thank you to our customers, sincerely, because it's thanks to you that since day one, I get to live my dream of having a bakery. And thanks to your support, I've been able to continue to be as true to my art.
Okay, so like I mentioned, after JL Patisserie uploaded this video, I mean, it went viral, right? It's currently on 50 million views. It actually resulted in a couple of different responses from Glamorama. The first one being a video response where Glamorama says JL Patisserie is actually lying and shows some receipts.
God damn, someone finally stood up to me. You know, I gotta say, fucking kudos, for real. I respect that. I do. What I don't respect are the lies. So, here are the receipts. You want the truth, you can't handle the truth.
Oh, this person sounds so annoying, dude.
I do. What I don't respect are the lies. So, here are the receipts. You want the truth, you...
Where's the lie? Where's the lie? Nothing that... Okay, so I agree it was cut, but there's nothing here. There is nothing here that changes the nature of what you had sent them. There's nothing here contextually that changes anything?
Can't handle the truth. I never said that I would leave a good review for a free meal. I have never done that, and I will never do that.
Now, looking at these receipts, we don't really learn anything new. We see the message that we saw earlier saying, like, would you want to do...
You said you will, in the course of making critiques, you'll be willing to omit or downplay bad aspects and overemphasize good aspects, which contributes to the overall status of the review being bad or good. And if it is bad, it won't go up at all.
A collab. We do actually get a message from Jail Patisserie saying, unfortunately, right now we don't have any budget at all to spare, so we wouldn't be able to do a paid partnership with you. Hope you understand. Thank you. And then we go on to see
what? Noid, what?
This message that we saw earlier. We actually do see a bit more of a message, in fact. It says, hi, thank you for your response. I'm not sure if you're familiar with my page, but I do honest reviews.
Yeah, so nothing here is substantially changed.
So, if any, I will admit that. Like, I would do. You are way cooler than I am. I will admit that. I think it's a bit of a stretch to say that I was bullying you. You have way more followers than I do. You are way cooler than I am. I will admit that. Like, I would love to have the online presence that you do. So, if anything, you're kind of punching down. My video got, what, like 7,400, I think, maybe 12,000, 13,000 on Instagram. It didn't do great. I also said nice things in that video. I actually do think if you stay away from the nuts, if you're like me that don't like that fake pistachio flavor, I still have one of your other pages.
Yeah, but you said it was fake. You literally said it was fake. You made an objective claim. It was not merely your own preferences. There was an objective claim about the ingredients being used.
These trees here. Well, this one was a pistachio, so...
Yeah, so she's still saying that it has this, like, fake pistachio flavor. Obviously, we saw in Jail Patisserie's video that they're saying that it's absolutely not fake flavoring at all. I mean, who knows, right? I haven't tried it, but they do show the ingredients that they say that they use. And Glamorama is right in saying, like, she did say some nicer things in the video. She definitely did. It did feel like it was more negative than it was positive, especially bearing in mind, like, the caption on the video. But yeah...
And she's admitting that she'll leave in the positive aspects and also leave in the negative aspects, regardless of whether they contribute, but certain aspects will be more overemphasized than others, depending on whether her meal is comped.
In all fairness, she did say some nicer things as well. And Glamorama actually ends this video by clarifying that she did actually receive a free drink.
It was still phenomenal, and I'll stand by that. We also didn't get free drinks. We did get a free shot of espresso, which was so nice. Like, the French man that works there, he was the sweetest man ever. I said I liked my coffee strong. He sent out a free shot of espresso. That was so, so nice. Regardless, Jenna, I respect your balls. I do respect your talent. It may not be always my taste, but I do respect your talent. I think you make beautiful pastries. I work on that quiche, though. And I hope both your sides of your pillow are cold at night, and I do wish you nothing but the best.
So yeah, this video was posted, and then it was actually deleted, and the only video that's currently up on the Glamorama TikTok account is actually this statement right here.
First and foremost, I want to address the fake-ass ingredients comment. When I tasted the pistachio pastry, I noticed a strong pistachio flavor that reminded me of extract or flavoring. So I assume that's what was used to enhance the taste. Huh? When I ate the pistachios, it tasted like pistachio. Maybe it was added, maybe it wasn't, but I want to be clear. They do use real ingredients as well, and I should have been more thoughtful with my wording. I also want to clarify something really important. My review is not revenge for being turned down for a collaboration. I had already planned to visit and review the bakery regardless paid or not, but I understand with how things unfolded, it might have looked like I did it out of spite. That's not who I am, and that was never my intention. For those who followed me for a while, you know I always give honest reviews, good or bad. But I also understand now that honesty without compassion can come across the wrong way. When the collaboration didn't work out, I completely respected that and went in as a regular paying customer. My goal was still to give an honest review, but I see how that message followed by a negative video made it seem like I only wanted free food or felt entitled, and that's not true. That was never my mindset, and I truly regret that it came across that way. To the bakery, okay, so she's just apologizing. It's like, if you're positioning yourself as a reviewer, if the review itself is actually influenced by something material or monetary, and that's not being disclosed beforehand, that yes, whether or not they comp me is going to influence my review, then you're actually being dishonest. Your review is in fact not honest.
It reads, hey everyone, first and foremost, I want to address the fake ass ingredients comment. When I tasted the pistachio pastry, I noticed a strong pistachio flavor that reminded me of extract or flavoring, so I assumed that's what was used to enhance the taste. Maybe it was added, maybe it wasn't. But I want to be clear, they do use real ingredients as well, and I should have been more thoughtful with my wording. I also want to clarify something really important. My review was not revenge for being turned down for collaboration. I'd already planned to visit and review the bakery regardless, paid or not. But I understand with how things unfolded. It might have looked like I did it out of spite. That's not who I am, that was never my intention. And again, this is another clear example of why I feel like if you do these food reviews, going to pastry shops, restaurants, cafes, whatever it is, there shouldn't be any. That message followed by a negative video made it.
All right, we already read the message. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up, everybody. We have nothing to cover. So if there's anything interesting tomorrow that you think is worth recommending, etc., link it in stream chat. Thank you guys for the support. I might see you tomorrow. I might not. Depends on what there is to cover. I'll definitely have time tomorrow, but I don't know if there's going to be a whole lot going on. We'll have to see. All right, take care, guys. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.